So very welcome to Rilton Cup and the final round of our tournament. But before we start with the commentary, I am here with Birger Wense.
Hi.
Hi. And you are like, what do you say? What is your title, Birger?
I'm the chairman of the organizing committee.
Chairman of the organizing committee. But you actually also very much is involved in all about this tournament because you are working for the Stockholm Chess Federation.
I'm a part-time employee as well, yes.
So, can you tell me a little bit about your work and what it looks like during the year with Rilton Cup?
Okay, I mean, the year ends, the tournament ends on January 5th, but that doesn't mean the tournament is over. So, we have to do a lot of things, and then we start giving recommendations for the next year. Mm-hmm. How it works in Stockholm is that the clubs elect a chairman of their organizing committee at the annual meeting, and that usually happens in May. So the committee is appointed every year in May, and then they start working. Typically, it's mostly the same people involved, so it's not that completely new crew of people starts taking over to organize the tournament. So we try to announce the tournament during the summer, even though it's known. I mean, the dates are usually the same, December 27th to January 5th. We still have a contract with this hotel, so it's going to be at Scandi Continental. So the main parts are already set in stone. That helps a lot. Whereas, for example, other open tournaments around the world, they struggle with finding a location, they struggle with finding sponsorships. I mean, the one thing that is nice about the Rilton Cup is that we have the money from Dr. Tore Rilton. When he passed away in 1983, and I'm sure you mentioned this on live on air before, he left a lot of money, so we don't have to chase after sponsorship. I mean, I know other tournaments, I know other organizers who have to run after municipality money, and they might get the money or might not get the money, 3 months before the event. So what the beautiful thing that we can plan long term. So we know, okay, the tournament is going to happen in a year, we know the location, we know the kind of budget we will have available. So that gives us a lot of security in our planning, which is nice. So okay, in summer we start to announce the tournament, and then the closer it gets to the tournament, the more things have to be done. But now we have a system in place, and we tweak it here and there, but we're quite satisfied with how things are going.
So how many times has Rilton Cup actually been held?
This is the 53rd edition.
The 53rd?
Yes.
That must be one of the oldest tournaments in Europe, or?
Probably, but
yes.
I haven't been involved from the start.
Okay. So how long have you been involved?
I started to join the Rilton committee in 2019-20. Mm-hmm. I was in charge for inviting the foreign grandmasters. Then we had a couple of rough years with Corona. Mm-hmm. One year we had to cancel, so what we did in that year, we invited all the former winners to do an online tournament. And then we had one hard year where we had to cancel the tournament 10 days before the event. Can you believe that?
Yes.
We had a government mandate, something from the government that we couldn't have this tournament, so this was rough. And then also, we struggled with Corona the next 2 years because, people got sick. It's not so nice to wake up in the mornings to say which part of the team members is here, who's here today. So we got lucky the last 2 years, even this year, that not really anyone got sick. So we've been through some rough periods, but you grow with the challenges.
But from my point of view, because I've also been taking part, first actually as a player many years ago, and now I'm coming back as, just like you, I'm working for the Stockholm Chess Federation that is behind this tournament, and together with I think it's a combination behind this tournament, because like you said, it's like, is it only Stockholm Chess Federation, or is it?
Well, okay, not to go into too many details how everything is structured, but Dr. Tore Rilton left money for this tournament to his club, Stockholm SS, but it's also the Swedish Chess Federation and the Stockholm Chess Federation that are involved, that have board seats in this trust that manages.
Yes, exactly. But anyway, from my point of view, when I came back, starting to work here in Stockholm, I think that this year has been a great success, Birger. Or can you tell us a little bit about your view on this year's tournament?
Okay, I don't want to jinx it because it's still one day. And
Yes.
one thing that people don't forget, when the last move is played, the tournament is not over yet. There's still a lot of work to be done. So, for example, just to get all the stuff from the federation to here and from here back to the federation takes one day. I mean, just to set up the playing venues took 2 days. So it is and then you have to pay all the prices, and to make international payments is sometimes not so easy. So
You don't make your judgment yet.
So I mean, the first 8 days have been going well. I'm satisfied.
Yes.
But I'm not gonna say it's a great success. I mean, who knows what can go wrong still? But we're optimistic.
Yes, that's fantastic.
Yes.
So, what do you hope for the forthcoming years? Or do you have any plans of development? Or I mean, we had Sorokina here and from FIDE, and she was telling us about this new Rilton Cup, and that you actually have made an agreement with them to continue to 2030, or at least that's what they said. So, what do you see will come?
Okay. First of all, I have no mandate to talk about the next year because I have not been elected as the chairman for the next committee. But I do think that this tournament has established itself. We have people from over 40 countries coming in here. We're practically at maximum capacity. I mean, there is no more space here to add people. So this is in terms of quantity the maximum we can have. I mean, we have 200 boards that we can fit in on 2 floors. So to say we want to have 1,000 players would not work. I can say the biggest change that happened during my time as chairman of the organizing committee is that we added a ton of side events, because we have an absolutely beautiful location right in the center of Stockholm. And I thought it was weird to not use it, to have it stand empty. So we tried to fill it with life. We have skill development, for example. I mean, we had different fair play courses together with the World Chess Federation. This year we had the DGT course because the Stockholm Chess Federation made, in my opinion, a good decision to purchase a lot of DGT boards, but somebody has to operate them. So we spoke to Anastasia, so okay now. To organize this training, which was a big success. I mean, we didn't expect 25 people from different countries to partake in this. We have various type of blitz events, rapid events. We added one new time control tournament with 60 plus 30, the so-called Rilton Open, from December 28th to December 30th, which we consider to be a success because I mean, having a tournament for 10 days takes quite a lot of time. I mean, not everybody has time to play chess for 10 days, so a shorter one. So yeah, we try to fill it with life. It's of course much more effort when you have events every single day.
Of course.
But yeah, people come here to play chess, and we think we should give them the opportunity to play chess.
So follow the tradition and small updates that makes it from a quality side a little bit better for every year.
Maybe we need a second book someday.
Let's see.
Because somebody next to me wrote the only Rilton book, which we always gladly hand out as a gift.
Some years ago. But thank you very much.
Thank you.
And good luck with the last round and with the work that we all know
and
will come afterwards.
We have received a lot of good feedback about the commentary.
Okay.
So also to Klaas behind the camera, who's the producer, to Tom and to Jesper, thank you very much. As I always say, all problems are my problems, but I didn't have a single problem to solve here to the commentary team. So keep up the good work, and let's see if we have an exciting last round.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And with that, we let Tom Wedberg come back and we'll run the commentary.
Yeah, while you were sitting here chatting, the tournament was decided.
It was?
Yes, it's over.
Okay, but first maybe we should go to the background to understand how this can be done.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that before this final round, we have one sole leader, and that is Chu Tianzhu from China, 7.5 point.
Yeah.
Behind him, there are 2 players on 6.5 point, and that is Siva Mahadevan and Anton Demchenko on 6.5 point. But on the first board, Chu is playing against Siva. Chu is white and Siva is black. And Siva actually only needs a draw to make a GM norm.
Correct.
And Chu needs a win to win a draw to win the tournament.
Maybe a loss would be enough.
Maybe even a loss.
But to be sure.
Yeah, that's right. And that means that, of course, the prediction would be both would be very happy with a draw, securing the win of the tournament and securing a GM norm. So I guess that is what you refer to on the first board.
Yes, and we can...
Should we just check it very quickly? Or
yes, of course.
Because we also said before the round started that one problem in this type of cases where you both are very happy with a draw is that we actually have this rule.
The Sofia rules.
The Sofia rules, that you cannot make a draw before 30 moves have been done.
Right.
And
you can. With a repetition.
A repetition,
so there are some favorite openings played sometimes. You see the same game over and again. I think the shortest is something like 12 moves or something like that.
Yes. I think about this knight h5, knight f6 with the bishop going back and forth.
Yeah, this is one of them.
Okay, but let's see very quickly then what is happening, and then I think we should look for the other games.
So this is not, for the audience, this is not a real game where the players have tried to win. This is just making 30 moves without having to think, basically.
Yes.
And we will see that this is one of those draws that you see very often. Everything is exchanged off.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely symmetrical. They're playing the exact same moves, swapping off all the pieces, and
the queen goes.
Yes. And now we are
and now they end with the repetition just to make it even
more clear.
Yeah, and they do it for a long time here. So, and that was a draw, 32 moves. I have to say that these two players have been maybe the most interesting to watch during the tournament. Don't you agree with me?
Absolutely. And also, I mean, this type of chess that we see here, is not very representative for what they have done so far in the tournament. They have played great fighting chess.
And especially Shu has shown that even in positions that looked like they are drawn, and he said so himself. We had him here in the studio, and he said that, of course it was a draw, but I thought I should try a little bit. And he managed to win these very even positions. Maybe he would have won this position, I don't know. Not so likely.
No, not so likely, but still, of course. No. It's I agree. Yeah. So for me, also, it's absolutely clear that Chu is the best player of the tournament.
He played best
in the tournament, no doubt. And behind him, I think Siva, I would say, is the big, coming star, I almost said, but at least someone who has made a really great result.
And also the way he played, I think.
Yeah, the way he played, and then he got a GM norm, of course, that is a sign of that. So I think he has made a really great effort here.
Impressive.
Yes, so now it's only the second board where we have the other player that before this round had 6.5 point, that's correct, or? Yes. And that is Anton Demchenko. And
who also has played very nice games. I mean,
real fighting
chess in every game, and he takes a slightly worse position, a bit cramped. He plays the Philidor and things like that, but then he puts under pressure, and very often his opponents goes wrong somewhere. And
we also spoke about this because I said to you that one of those things that I remember when I was a young chess player, I read an article where I don't know if it was Jan Timman or someone who was giving an advice to Ferdinand Hellers that by the time was one of the most prominent chess players of the world. Yeah. And he said that the only problem that Ferdinand Hellers has got is that he's trying to make the best move in every position. But sometimes you need to find the most difficult move for your opponent and not always the best. Yeah. And in one way, I thought about this quote when I saw Demchenko playing, because he's really trying to make positions where the opponent can make bad moves, So,
So I have another quote for you.
Yes, please.
Now that we're exchanging quotes.
Yes, please.
The Swedish Grandmaster Thomas Ernst, he said to me that sometimes the road to a win goes through a lost position. And that's not so bad.
Okay, that's not so bad. But anyway, here he is playing against Bartolomé Heberla, that he seems to like Rilton Cup a lot because he made a very nice tournament last year, I think. He has been in the top. He's known for us in Sweden as he's playing for Eksjö in the Swedish league, and he's a really strong grandmaster. So this, I hope, will be a fighting game between those
there is no
players.
reason why they would take a 32 move draw. No.
Yeah.
So this will be a fight. So we get the Caro-Kann, the advanced variation. I think we've seen that before. And here we see the Botvinnik line with c5.
Yes, the other move is bishop f5. That is common, but both.
I think this is maybe considered to be the main line to play the bishop.
Yeah,
player.
but c5 is I think that popularity is growing for this move.
Yeah.
But okay.
So you can say basically you play the French, but you haven't played e6.
No.
So and Black has lost. Can you explain why you want to lose?
The thing is
a move
also
like
that with the pawn on e6, the bishop on c8 is stuck.
Yeah.
So now you have the chance to bring it out.
Just for comparison, we can look at this position.
Yes.
This is the French advanced variation, and now instead we have this position.
That's right.
So Black is a pawn down, a move down.
Yes.
But he can make.
Come out with the bishop. For example, knight
some
f3.
bishop f5 or bishop.
For example, knight
G4.
f3. Then you can go to the bishop to g4. So put some pressure on the center. So if you just play like c3 and this kind of stuff, Black normally has got a good position.
Right.
So what you do here, at least to the main lines, are to take on c5. Right. And quite often now what White is trying to do is to keep this pawn on c5 as long as possible. At least that is one possibility.
Yes.
You can also play like in this game just to develop pieces, but yeah.
In this case, Black plays e6 because now he reasons, since White has taken on c5 and I can easily take back with the bishop, I don't have to get my bishop out from c8.
That's right, because in the normal French, then otherwise White normally plays with c3 to try to keep the center with pawns on d4 and e5. So what happened? Let's take a look.
Yeah, I guess you could go for something like bishop e3. I think that's the main move in this position, and then you try, as you said, you can try to keep this pawn forever, but usually at some point you sacrifice a pawn. But in some lines you give away the e5 pawn and keep the c5 pawn, and you play for this pawn majority on the queen side. Yes. But in this game, White said, "Fine, you can take on c5. I don't mind." So we got this position, and Black went with f6.
And this is the position.
Yep.
They have started to think, at least Demchenko started to think, because in one way this is a little bit provoking, this move, f6, because you have not developed all your pieces yet. White has chosen to be fast with developing pieces, so now we have. At least I'm not totally familiar with this position. If you play like bishop f4, if you go for, there is one move I'm thinking about sometimes also when I see this type of move, that's c2 to c4 to try to destroy the center. So
this is definitely a move.
So I don't know.
Many options here.
Many options. What do you think, Tom?
Well, I mean, the basic concept is well known to play f6, and of course, now that White has played this way, put the bishop on d3, Black has to be careful. If he plays knight e7 and castles, White takes on h7, and the game is over. So, from that perspective, I think it's very logical, but it's very ambitious.
Yes, very ambitious.
Black is extremely ambitious here, and. It's a bit dangerous. White has not wasted any time on pawn moves. White could just develop here. c4, of course, then you get the more strategic game, so to speak. But very interesting. We'll see what happens. I haven't studied exactly this position, even though the idea is, of course, well known. So let's jump to the next game.
And now we are going down to those players who has got 6 points. Because, like we said before, that we had Chu on 7.5, and then we had Siva and Demchenko on 6.5, and then we have Hebela on 6, together with Shangren, Saitan, Kaifan, D, Dotzer and Christoph, if I remember correctly. All of those have got 6 points, and of course I think among them here we will see fighting chess, because they want to win to reach one of the top prizes. So
well, that's how it works. You need, in this last round, it's extremely important to win.
Yes.
If you're in this group, because then you get a good prize, and if you lose, maybe you don't get anything.
That's right.
Yeah. So let's see what happened here. This is Sayantan Das from India, playing against the Chinese, and he's a grandmaster, by the way, from India. And then we have a Chinese grandmaster, Shangren Dai, who plays black. And we can see that Shangren is the rating favorite, with a little bit over 100 points more. But he's black. I would say this is an open affair.
But we also see that we have this encounter between China and India.
There has been many.
Yes, exactly. Also on the first board, like we just saw.
Yeah.
But in this tournament, you could say that they are a little bit dominating the tournament in a way, these Chinese and Indian players. And
that's not unexpected.
No.
Next to Sweden, India is the country with the most players. I think there's like 37 Indian players or something. I don't know the exact number, but quite a lot of them.
So let's see what happened here.
Okay, let's see. So e4, e5, and we went straight into the main line of the Ruy Lopez, or the Spanish. And
okay,
d6. Yeah. This is one of the lines you can play.
Yes, of course. This is the old way of playing, but on
very old way.
but one problem is, of course, that you outrule this martial attack that we've been talking about before. But perfect move, of course. So
if White wants, he can take on c6 and play d4 and go into the Steinitz variation.
Yes.
But he played c3, bishop d7 and d4. Classical play, and g6.
But now it is actually hanging on e4, wasn't it? Could you take that, or you just play rook e1 and?
Yeah, I think you can take it, but you get problems.
Yeah,
because you get this thing here
going on. That's right.
And it's not.
No, I agree. Yeah. No, I just wanted to say that.
No, it's good. Yeah, because you might wonder why not take a pawn when you can, but it comes with a price. I'm not saying black is lost here, but it doesn't look very good.
No, that's right.
So okay, so
quite often to open up like that before your own king has get castled.
Yeah,
that is dangerous.
Yeah, so. And especially in these Spanish lines, black can sometimes take on e4, but it always comes with this pressure from white side with rook e1.
Now we see a move that is quite ambitious, quite normal. Normally you play, bishop e7 to get quick to come into the castles, but with this move you are trying to win some tempos, because quite often if you played with the bishop on e7, you put the rook on e8, you go back with the bishop.
Yeah, we can. Well, you have to watch out, of course. At some point, white might take on c6 and e5. Right now, there's no big. So this is definitely possible. Then I guess maybe white plays rook e1 or
might be.
This is possible. This is possible. No, not that. This is possible. So okay. Let's see. So g6 has become quite popular. I think this idea just putting the bishop on g7, because as you said, in the normal lines you play bishop e7, then you castle, put rook e8, and then you go back with the bishop. So you can gain a lot of time. So okay, rook e1, bishop g7, h3, castles, bishop c2, rook e8, knight bd2, a5.
a5.
Yeah, I don't know exactly the theory here. a5 is. There are many ways to play this. Black obviously does not intend to go on the king side. I mean, there is an alternative way to play. To keep the rook on f8, you move the queen to e7 or e8 or something like that, and maybe bring in the other rook and try to maybe at some point play f5 and things like that. This sort of standard idea to try to go for the king side, like in the King's Indian, for instance. But here black is playing over the whole board, and he's playing on the queen side as well. So in this,
because quite often you have a position where black has played b5, you know, and then this idea, you rarely see this idea with a5. I think for black, so it's a little bit a move that stands out for me. I mean,
you can compare it to the Italian.
Yeah.
And in the Italian we see the a pawn always doing things.
Yeah.
And you could say that this could have been an Italian. It's very close to an Italian, right? So the idea of playing the a pawn forward has been very popular.
I don't say it's. Just say that it's at least it's a move that you rarely see in the Ray Lopez, because black quite often plays with b7 to b5. So then this is not so attractive. So a little bit a subtlety in the position compared to the main lines.
Well, now white took on e5.
He took on e5.
We should note one thing here. This is always important to check the times of the players, and we can see that the Changren Dai, the Chinese grandmaster here, he's blitzing out his moves. So a5 was most certainly a preparation.
Yes.
Maybe just the idea, or maybe the exact position. But I think in a position like this, it doesn't have to be exactly the same. I mean, it doesn't matter so much which moves have been made so far. But this looks like probably it's been played before. But we can see that Sayantan Das, he has used some time.
Yes.
So he's probably out of book.
And you can say also that by playing this, because the advantage white has got in this pawn structure with the pawn on d6, e5 compared to d4 and e4 like we see, that is that white has got more space. But in the same moment that you take on e5, you lose this advantage in a way. Yes. So it's a little bit, quite often you play this kind of move, and the position will symmetrical, it will be more equal, and it's not the most ambitious move.
No, but maybe he felt that he had been sort of trapped in a preparation. And I mean, normal moves in a position like this would perhaps you could put the knight here.
But with the pawn on g6, maybe not bishop knight to g3 is so interesting. And the question is if knight e3 is a threat.
But just to get the knight out, and maybe
bishop out.
Another idea would perhaps be to play something like b3 at some point and put the bishop here. That could be an idea.
I agree.
And try to create pressure. But often what white does, instead of taking, I think taking in a way is a little bit unambitious from one side.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Yeah, but what usually you do, you just try to develop your pieces. You put your rooks in the middle, and you continue to press, and then we'll see what happens. That's a little bit how the strategy goes. But he's going for the exchanges. I don't know if could it be that why would he want to draw here?
Well, because one of the things that we, of course, have prepared for you as viewers is also the list of the players that have got a chance to go for a GM norm or for an IM norm.
Yeah, you can.
And if we go for that now, we could see that, of course, we have already mentioned that Siva Mahadevan already got his GM norm by playing a draw on the first board. But beside him we have Arun Dakshin from India. He is already done an IM norm as long as he got an opponent, because this is going to be very important. And with same for Bayaryavklan Delgerdalai. Also, if you just get an opponent, he will get an IM norm. And why do I say this with you have to play an opponent? Because if you get and walk over, you will actually not fulfill what you need to get this norm. And this is, unfortunately, this happened to Kaifan Chi, who has 5 points and is playing on one of the top boards. He needed to win, or he needs to win today to get a GM norm. But as he had walkover in the first round, he can only make a GM norm out of 8 rounds. A little bit pity for him that he couldn't.
He didn't
play
get
the first
an
one.
opponent in the first round.
That's right.
So he got to walk over.
Yes. And then we have Ranjan Harshit from India. We have Vasilios Katsanis. And we have Andre Nielsen from Norway. And we have... they need to win to get an IM norm. We have Or Chatil from Switzerland, a woman who needs to win to get a women GM norm. We have two types of systems in the chess world. We have open norms for IMs and grandmasters, but we also have a system directly towards women and girls. So, but she will get a women grandmaster norm if she wins today. Beside this, we have Silong Yang, who needs half a point for an IM norm, and Adam Silonka, he needs half a point to get an IM norm. This is what it looks like for the first round. Unfortunately, we have no Swedes that can compete for a norm in this final round.
It's been a sort of a bad year for the Swedish players.
Yes, you must say.
Partly we miss a few guys that played well last year but had other obligations.
Yes.
And those who played now have not really had
the best days.
Axel was on the way to a good result, but then it didn't happen.
It didn't happen. And so today I think that it is Tiger Hillar Persson that we have had here in the studio by sometimes, that so far at least he hasn't lost a game.
No, but he has had too many draws to really be in the top.
That's right. So
but he was here yesterday and he said that he had focused on not losing. I got the impression that was very important for him.
Because normally he's playing very challenging, and now he's trying to, and that costs a lot of time when he's playing. But let's take a look at the games. Well, I think we should continue.
We were looking at this position, and we saw that there will be lots of exchanges. I get the feeling that White is more or less
happy with the draw.
A little bit sort of not offering a draw, but sort of hinting at the possibility of a draw.
Yes.
So Black has to make a choice he can take with the rook to keep the position unbalanced, but if he takes with the pawn and White plays
Queen E2, Knight C4, this kind of stuff.
Just puts out the pieces, brings the rook to the D file and so on. It will not be easy for Black to win this, I can tell you.
No.
So then we go to this Kai Fan Shi,
who actually then needs to win with Black against his GM colleague D.
Not
Lee.
compatriot. Yes, it's a compatriot. D. Lee, and we can see that this is an interesting position. This is not at all symmetrical and drawish. So we can just see what happened in this game. So there was a Knight F3, a Reti opening, could be G3, D5, C5 castles, G6, D4, and now we enter. What do we enter? Some Grünfeld territory,
reversed,
some sort of reversed Grünfeld. Knight B3, Knight C6, Knight C3, E6, A4, castles, A5.
Yes.
This is where we are at.
And as always, I think this type of strategy that you use, playing a black opening with white, it's quite interesting because normally players do not put in so much effort in analyzing this kind of openings, but there can be subtleties that will make it different from when you play it with white, with black and so on. So it can be, a bit dangerous if you're not on your toes if you're playing the position with black like now. And I guess that White has got a chance to get some pressure on the queen side that
could be
maybe you normally do not get.
I think when you play these reversed openings, you might think that, it's so good because I have one extra tempo, but in reality, usually these reversed are not so good. because this extra tempo doesn't matter so much. The important factor is often the position of the pawns in the center. So if you play like a Benoni with white, for instance, it's just as bad as when you're black.
You could say it depends, of course, what kind of opener we're talking about. It's very, very sharp. But if it's
generalization.
Yeah, I agree.
You cannot go into every detail. Okay, let's go to the next game. So here we have two young guys.
Yes, here we have a young encounter, and for those players it's interesting because both would normally have the chance to make a GM norm if they won this game. Because both Racek and Dotzer, those young players, I think Dotzer is 15 and Racek is 17, they have made great tournaments. I think Dotzer actually made a performance above 2600, but both of them have not played with enough grandmasters. To make a norm, you need to play at least against 3 grandmasters, and neither of them has reached that. They've only played one grandmaster each, and that means that they don't have the chance, even though they have made a great result. But it will be very interesting to see, because they have played tough chess, and you know, I'm impressed by their play.
Yeah.
So
let's see what happened in this game. So we have Krzysztof Racek playing white here with a 24.98 rating against Dotzer, who also has 24.98. So they have exactly the same rating.
Yes.
That doesn't mean it will be a draw.
No.
And when Krzysztof, of course, he's from Poland, and we have Lukas Dotzer here from Austria.
Yes.
So knight f6, and this is not so common.
No.
It's sort of a London system.
Exactly.
But with c4, and then it's not a London. What do we call this?
You tell me. It's the best I can say, because I'm a little bit. I don't know. I don't know what to say, actually.
We are stunned.
Yeah.
We will sit and look at this for an hour.
Okay.
I don't think I've actually seen this move before.
No, me neither, actually. Because normally when you play the London, you do not play c4 so early. I mean, it can come.
But then it's not really the London system.
No, it's true. I just say that normally if you want to play the London...
Just for a comparison,
yes,
a London system would be...
Bishop f4 here.
Bishop f4, and let's say black play e6. Then white would probably play knight f3, and then later...
And e3 and c3 and bishop d3. But these days, with London, they have started to, to hold the c pawn a bit to be able to play c4. So that's what I meant. It could be transposing. But
yeah. It could be something like, let's say, d5. E3, and maybe c5. And then rather than going c3, they play knight to d2, something like this. Then you always have the option of playing c4.
Yep.
I think Magnus has played this, but this is different, because here white already has played c4, so it opens up some possibilities, and black took advantage of that immediately by
and you can see that he was calculating for 12 minutes before he played the check.
No, but this was a surprise, of course. Bishop f4. This is typical. Yes. You analyze with the computer and you see, it's playable. It doesn't have to be good. It's playable, and then you play it and you gain a lot of time on the clock, and your opponent does not know where he is, and so on.
And then, of course, if you play knight c3, we're transposing a bit, but then it looks a little bit strange, with bishop on f4. If you go into the Nimzo Indian.
So he played knight d2.
So of course knight d2,
and black played c5.
And here, of course, black could play d5 must be possible, for example, or something else. But c5 is the most challenging move, I think, in a way, because now how to continue here. e3 can be dangerous because of knight e4. Maybe at least.
Well, he took on c5.
Yes, this was took on c5.
Obviously preparation, because he has not used any time.
And now I have seen this position almost with a knight on c3, and then quite often knight a6 and take on c5 and so on. But now he castled knight f3.
I mean, again, if you do something like this, black immediately plays this, and white is worse.
Yes,
because after knight f3 now you take here, or you take there, and then you
take
can
back. Yes.
Probably just take this, and you have the pair of bishops, and no problems, I would say. So knight f3 was played, take on c5, e3, d5, and now bishop d3. Also a bit interesting. Well, I mean, this is a okay position, and we can say that Krzysztof's novelty, if you can call it that, has paid off. He has gained half an hour on the clock.
Yes, he has used no time. And his opponent over 30 minutes to reach this position. But I guess it's about equal. I mean, you can even you play like knight c6 and b6.
We should point out that the knight on d2 is misplaced here.
Yes.
So white at some point will have to redirect this.
Yep.
Maybe he's hoping for taking on c4. He could maybe bring the knight to c4. That would be an improvement. But it's not so clear, because then there will be a check. But he will probably castle. He wants to castle. But if black takes on c4, you take with the bishop, perhaps, or do you take with the knight? maybe you could take with a knight.
I think you can take with a knight.
But
okay.
then there is a check. What do you do? Then you have
King
to move the
E2?
king. Yeah.
King E2, I think it's absolutely okay.
So it could be interesting.
Yeah.
Aha, he didn't do that.
No,
but-
I think B6 is...
B6 is reasonable.
Because again, why taking, like you said, give the knight a good square, and now just put the bishop on B. He's playing simple moves, simple good moves, and then put the knight, bishop B7, and then you can choose if the knight should be on D7 or on C6. I'm sure black is fine, even though now it's a game, and you have gained, like you said, almost half an hour. So in that sense, yeah, that's good.
In the old days, you had preparations to get the advantage. Today, you do the preparation to win time, not position.
Sometimes I think it's both, but I agree.
Yeah, but it's not easy today because everyone has studied with the computers and so on.
Yes.
The nuance of moves have been
But
realized.
I can also say one thing that was interesting when I was speaking to Peter Heine Nielsen, that is the coach of Magnus Carlsen, and
is he still the coach?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. But Magnus is not playing so much anymore. That's the difference. But he's still the coach. And I was asking him, what kind of positions are you looking for when you are preparing and so on? And he said, mainly today, what the players are doing is that they are looking for positions that are equal. Because they know they will never find a position that is much better for one if they prepare. Yeah. But they have found out that this equal position is much more difficult to play for one side. Because then maybe the player have made the mistake of just looking at the computer, and the computer says it's equal, but you have to find these computer-like moves, while one of the players have easy human-like moves to make. And in that sense, it's a little bit like this, then that will take time to find these computer moves to save the position or to keep the equal position. So, yeah. Okay.
So this will develop. We will see. I think we will see more normal moves coming now from both sides. Yep. And I think Dotzer has found a good way. Sometimes you can be intimidated and make some strange move. But I saw someone, some trainer who said that we always meet unusual, strange moves with normal moves. We don't try to fight strange moves with strange moves of our own, and that's a good advice, I think. Okay, so next game we have Krishna Shai playing white, the Canadian with an Indian name.
That actually also have been a little bit of a surprise of the tournament. That has made some great results.
Right.
So playing against Dominik Horvath, that lost yesterday against.
No, Meskov's Nikita.
No, I'm sorry. I was looking. Sorry,
I was.
No, I'm sorry. You were going back.
With
your mouse. You were. You were. Yeah, that's right.
Tricking you.
So I'm sorry. Okay. But still, the Sai has played. Made some good results in this tournament so far, compared to his rating and his title.
Yeah, he's in an IM, Canadian IM.
Yes.
And he has 24-30, which is a good rating. But Nikita, of course, with 25-67 is the rating favorite. But Nikita hasn't really, he hasn't shown his best in this tournament.
I would say that I'm most impressed by some of his draws when he, had difficult positions and showed really good defense.
But we saw some game where he just stumbled into some worse ending, and he never got his play going.
No.
So it hasn't been his tournament.
Because you know him quite well, right?
Well, he's playing we play in the same team in the Swedish league, and so he's a great player. I think I'm always impressed, and he comes to my juniors and he shows games and explains ideas, and very, very well thought out ideas, and he's also he's a little bit like Shu, in position where you think, well, this is not so much. He finds these little things, so. Very inventive when he is in his
in good shape.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's out of shape here, but he hasn't.
Oh, we have this. Yeah, old.
A little bit unusual, a little bit of a trick move.
Actually, I've played this quite a lot.
Oh yes,
because because also when you play black, and there are so many sharp, dangerous lines, and with this, The white players normally do not study, and there is a reason for that, because white has different ways to play here. But
I think one of the main ideas is that you can play e5 sometimes, right? Like
yes, exactly. Yes.
And now after knight takes, I guess you can play this move.
Yes, or I normally I think I play knight f6 first, but
same
and
idea.
then e5, and then you take the square knight c3, yes, and e5, and now you cannot go to b5. That is common to reach the Sveshnikov or something like that, because you cover up, and here I mean we have an absolutely okay game for black after this. So this is a little bit of a mistake to play deep. I would say.
Well, you walk into black's idea, and black feels a little bit sort of I got it.
So I would say there are two different challenging ways to play for black, and that is either like in this game c4 or to play
for white,
c3.
You mean, for white.
So c3 is the move to play. So either c4 or c3, and with c3, black. I normally play e6 d5, but then we have a little bit strange of a French, and here d5.
And then it could be something
either this
like
or
this.
take on d5 is that is quite boring, but and now bishop e3, for example, this. But I mean it's absolutely okay, but
but white went for the other idea here, c4.
And this is also very fine.
And then you go into one of these Marocci bind systems where you have
but I can say I think that I play knight f6 here. This is not the common way to play.
There are many ways,
but okay.
Okay.
But the normal way is e6, and just like you say, you are opening up for this kind of setup,
And now we have come to quite a common position. This has been played a lot.
Yes.
It's
the
knight
time
f6.
of setup.
Here you can play a3, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that the move?
Yeah, I think you can play bishop d3 also.
Yeah.
Or like in this game, you played bishop e2. Okay.
Yeah.
Many possibilities. Okay. Who is playing very ambitious here?
Yeah.
Because okay, but on the other hand, with the bishop on. Okay, and bishop b7, what do you do? Or bishop b4 even. Okay, now it's getting sharp actually already. And you can see that
you get the impression that he is improvising.
Yes, a little bit, because this is.
This is not the normal. I think because I play this with white sometimes.
Yes.
In this position, I think I usually play this move.
Mm-hmm.
And then you bring everything out.
Yeah. But sometimes I played bishop to d3, in this position also.
Yeah, also possible.
To put the queen on e2, I'm not so afraid of bishop b4.
No. In itself, it's not so much, but only if you get pressure against the white center. But white is not so afraid of this exchange on c3 because then he gets a very strong black squared bishop. Yeah. So b6, f4. Okay. But I like this. This will be a very interesting game to see. Yeah.
And now the question is how to continue here with black. Should you take on c3 and play knight c5 and bishop b7? Or because that is absolutely a possibility, or what should you do?
I'm a little bit afraid for black that the queen will come to g3 or h3 even. I mean, even this at some point, and you get an attack on the king side.
Maybe you should take with a knight on c3.
Yeah, maybe.
And then play bishop c5.
Or maybe just
or bishop b7 could also be.
Maybe this. Yeah.
I don't know.
Very interesting.
Yeah, this is interesting.
We'll see how this develops.
Yep. Yes.
So queen d3.
But my feeling is that black is fine.
Yeah. So I think since we had the draw on the first board, we take another one.
Yes.
So here we have Dominik Horvat.
Yes.
Who had not his best day yesterday.
No, that's right. It was a little bit strange because he has so far. I think he had good preparations in this tournament, or at least But in that game, he was not having his best preparation, I can tell you, because he was lost after just, 15 moves or something.
But this happens sometimes.
It happens.
When you say he had good preparations, usually it's sharp preparation.
Yes.
And when you play sharp lines, you also have problems. If you make some slight mistake, the game is not so easy to play.
No, I agree.
And I think that happened to him yesterday. He just went wrong and everything fell apart.
That's true.
So let's see what happened in this game.
Again, we have a sharp, I'd say, preparation, but let's see. E6, knight f3.
The Bogo Indian.
Yeah.
And white has a choice. We've talked about this before. Knight c3, knight d2, bishop d2. And he chose the, I think, considered to be the safest option here, bishop d2. And Sardana, Rishi, he played just like Bogolyubov used to do. Just take on d2 and then play a queen's gambit without the black squared bishops. Like this. I think Ulf Andersson has played this.
Many times.
And also Magnus has played it. So this is a good way to play.
You could say in a way it looks a little bit strange to get rid of your best bishop, because the bishop on c8 is on the same color as your own pawns. But one good thing here is that black is has got a little bit less space, and then it's good to have swapped off a piece, and it's not totally clear how white should make use of the position. Black can play it's a very safe line. Overall.
And now we get one of Dominic's preparations here. Because if you play this as has been played many times, if white just plays simple moves like e3 and bishop e2 and so on, but black just plays the queen here, he puts the rook here, and he just starts swapping everything in the center, and in the end there is not so much play left. But white instead played rook d1, queen e7, and now he started his tricks with g4.
Yeah, we have seen this. Axel Falkevall played this type of move,
and we said immediately this doesn't look so good. And then when we check with the computer, it says it's a mistake.
Yes.
And probably the same will happen in this game.
You think so?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because white has made the same mistake that Axel did. He has prevented himself from castling queenside.
Yes.
Axel had played rook c1. And here he has played rook d1. And then g4. It doesn't work. I don't believe in it.
This is really strange.
Is he going to...
No, it's also because if you play in the game rook d8, g5, you can play knight e4.
This happened.
This is strange.
So he played rook d8, g5, knight e4.
Yes.
No, I don't believe this is... I don't know. It doesn't look good to me. If I was black, I would be very happy to get
I think
this.
also one other thing is that Tom and I, we are mainly today, we are trainers, I would say, more than we are players.
Especially you.
And especially me, I would say. And that means that, you teach your children that never play without getting your castle first, your king first, and then you look at this top player's game and they are breaking all the rules to try
every
rule is broken that you try to teach the children,
It's true.
They are not good examples. So that's why we don't like this type of moves that are not into our... No, I'm joking a bit.
I agree with you. Well, from an educational point of view...
G4 is a disaster, yes.
No, it's not a disaster. But I fear for White's play here.
Yes.
And given how Dominic played yesterday, I hope it's not a repeat performance here.
I just want to say, can you go back one move, see where he started to think, Dominic? Because it felt like G4 was like a preparation. Yeah, look at that. G4, and now rook D8, and suddenly after G5 he thought for over 25 minutes,
Yeah, before playing G5.
Yeah, and that means that he went out of his preparation somehow, or at least
did he expect
to
taking?
question.
Maybe had put all his time into this move. But of course, black is
and
not.
And then rook g1 and queen
e6. Just like the game with Axel when he played g4, of course, black is not going to take that pawn. I mean, so much is known today that you don't take a pawn like that. No, the problem for white now, as I see it, is that he has no good place for the king. So just like Axel, he will have to play at some point king f1, king g2, and so on. And it will take time, and I don't think this g5 is giving white an attack. Do you?
I cannot see that really. So I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what to play now because you don't really want to take on e4.
Well, maybe you have to.
Because and then pawn take, and you have pressure. That way, I like this rook d8. I like that move, Because now if you play like queen f4, is that the move to play? I don't know.
I was looking at that, but I wondered maybe even something like this could be.
And then maybe knight e5.
Yeah, you go for but that's not so. It doesn't threaten that much. It's just a check.
Yep.
We can take on c3 maybe.
Maybe. Then it might be a draw. So.
Yeah, it could be a draw. Okay, I think he played queen e3. Actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I
that cannot be the best place for the queen in a way, But okay.
Yeah. So white is giving a little bit of a handicap here with this g4 idea, but probably it's something he had studied. Maybe he didn't expect this line, and now he plays it. Maybe he has played like 1,000 games on Leach's, bullet games with this, but this is not bullet. Okay, let's go to the next game.
Or should we go to Tiger?
I'm thinking maybe we check some of the Swedish guys and see what's happening. So here we have Jakob Seeman, who I think played very well last year.
Yeah, that's right. So he is one of those players who haven't had his best tournament so far.
Mm-hmm.
And Tiger is playing black, and we have a very special position. So let's see what happened.
So we started with d4, knight f6, c4, e6.
Okay, so actually Tiger is going for the Nimzo Indian.
Yeah.
That you don't see so often when he's playing, So
it's a very solid line.
Yeah.
E3 castles. A3.
And now this old line that actually is inviting black to take on c3 and take the structure, but that happens sometimes. Black will take on c3 without a3 being played. So normally with black, at least I am quite happy with this when this arises. But there can be some really dangerous lines in this if you are not well prepared with black, because white will play with bishop d3, e4, and so on. And even though you might lose this c4 pawn that you have shown before, you can have an attack with white. So
you could play b6 and bishop a6 here. This is typical idea to go here, and then you put the knight on a5 and you take this pawn. But black plays a different, also very common idea. He plays this e5.
Yeah.
So
simply to put the pawns on the right color.
Yeah.
Because you're white, you have your bishop that is on the white squares.
Right. So you can support this. This is very solid way to play. You put the pawn on d6, maybe the rook here, maybe the queen goes to e7.
Yeah.
And then at some point the bishop will develop, and you just bring everything out.
And as it is in a way, white wants to make his pair of bishop come to life. But the bishop on c1, it's not so easy to find a way to make both bishops good in this type of positions.
So in the game it was knight e2, and then Tiger decided to play e4, which it's not necessary to do it, but yeah.
It's like, again, you have like pros and cons, but what is the problem with this one is that now white's center is totally stabilized. The good thing for black is that how should white continue in a way? Is it and those two bishops are now totally locked in. So if you can keep this pawn on e4, you might have chance. So like d6, if you can play bishop f5, queen e7, and so on.
Yeah, there is still possibilities to attack this pawn, of course, on c4.
Yeah.
But I guess white is going for some sort of attack. I mean, maybe the knight goes here sometime.
Yes.
The rook comes to a2. There will be f3, and everything goes on the black king.
Yes.
So maybe Tiger is willing to take a little bit of a fight today.
But look at the time.
Yeah, he has used 40 minutes.
Yes, and the opponent only 10.
Yeah.
So obviously this is not a position. That can happen also, like I said, to see Tiger playing the Nimzo Indian. I mean, I think I've seen it, but it has not been its main choice for many years.
Yeah.
And what can happen then is if you sometimes when you do preparation for a one game, you can get into positions that you are not so well known with.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised by e4 actually.
Me too.
Because
me too.
in this position, you could play very normal
or
move
queen
D6,
E7, yeah,
or queen
E7,
yeah, something, maybe D6 or queen E7 also possible.
I don't know.
But he played E4,
Mhm.
and this will be a nice fight, I think.
Yes.
This will be a nice fight. I hope for.
At least I hope the
Tiger.
Tiger can, because it can
Yeah.
also be that,
He mentioned the time consumption
Mm.
and this search for perfection that he's on, and that's not a good thing in this position.
No.
Here you have to play with some, you have to take some risks. You have to, be willing to fight. You cannot think too much.
Mm.
Okay, so let's go to Blomqvist.
Okay. Is that the last game, or what do you say? Or
Maybe Axel also. I don't know. Just
we
to
have
show.
Edwin also.
Oh, sorry.
No, Edwin.
Yeah, exactly. Edwin, maybe. We haven't seen him much. Okay, so here we have Marco Riele from Germany,
Mm-hmm.
FIDE master, playing against the Swedish Stockholm Grandmaster, we should say,
Mm-hmm.
Erik Blomqvist, who plays from Rokaden.
Mm-hmm.
And Erik is the rating favorite, but he's
Mhm.
playing black, and he has not had a good tournament so
No.
far. So okay, it started with E4, and we got the French,
Mm-hmm.
the exchange French. It was
Yes.
This used to be considered to be the most drawish opening in the old
Yes.
days,
Yes.
and it was.
Do you think it has changed, this opinion?
Yeah. Well, Magnus has played it to win.
Yes.
In some, maybe not in I don't know if in classical, but at least in rapid and
Okay.
blitz and so on.
Yeah.
So it has sort of regained a little bit of.
A little bit, yes.
Yeah,
But it's still, when you're playing black and they play this, you are, why do you play chess? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
it's true.
Okay, so. Mm?
So
But again-
so what you could say about this position is that it's not so different from, for instance, the Petrov defense.
No.
As we say, Russian defense in
Mhm.
Swedish.
Mhm.
Because then usually the knight, black has a knight somewhere on E4 or something, but it's similar type of position with
Mhm.
D4 against D5 and an open E file,
Mm.
and so it isn't as drawish as some people think it is.
Mhm.
It is actually playable. Okay, knight B4.
Trying to do something, I would say.
Very much so.
Mhm.
So white could, I guess, play
Bishop E2.
Bishop E2. I don't know, Bishop F5. Is that something to
And
be
then
afraid
knight
of?
A3.
And then knight A3. Yeah. So this would
But
be.
it could absolutely happen,
Yeah.
Bishop F5, knight A3, and then you play C3, knight C2, knight E3.
Yeah. It's just another setup.
Yep.
So, but white, interestingly, after knight B4, he just went for the castling.
Mhm. But now I think that Erik is happy, because at least now there is some kind of unbalance in the position.
Yep.
That's what he wanted,
Yeah.
because if it's totally symmetrical, all the same pieces are swapped off. It's
Mhm.
not much to play for. Then it's really drawish.
So
But
this
now
is
it's-
interesting. White has is clearly ahead
In development.
but
Mhm.
he has given up his pair of bishops. Which would you prefer here? Would you prefer to be black here or
Yeah.
white?
Black,
You want to be black?
I think.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's more like, I'm also, I'm not in favor of white's play when it comes to taking on D5. So, I hope,
You want to
like-
see white punished.
Yes, I do.
So you take black. You take the good
it's,
side.
It's not like an objective,
No, okay.
but
Okay. It's just a rage.
it's more like in rage. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Okay.
So-
Bishop D6 was played.
Mm-hmm.
Bishop G5.
Yeah, F6. No, knight E7, of course. Okay,
Rook
that's
E1,
fine.
castles.
Mhm.
Knight D2. F6. Bishop
Mhm.
H4.
Knight F5, you have a chance. Oh,
Bishop G3.
yes. I would,
Okay.
I would be happy with black. I mean, when I say happy, I would be happy due to the opening that you have. At least now you have the pair of bishops, Even though it's not clear that this is how fantastic this is, but at least
No, but
you
I
have something.
I don't think White has managed to prove that his lead in development had any value, because he hasn't managed to do anything.
No.
But I don't know if White could at some point play knight H4, try to get this knight maybe to F5 or something like that. maybe double on the e file.
I think that one move. I think that a5 is that black wants to play b6 at a certain moment.
Right.
And then white shouldn't be able to bring up the b pawn to b4. So that's why you play a5.
Yeah.
And because this opens up, because if the centers opens up, the bishop pair can be really strong, you know.
Well, you could go for doubling.
Yeah, I think that's normal.
You want to play b6 here?
I don't know. If of course, you have to see if there is. But let's say play b6. Yeah.
Should we take it? Then we get c5 square,
Yeah,
maybe.
Yes.
I don't know. Somehow I like it
Bishop.
more now, or maybe rook c1.
We have also bishop a6 coming. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's good, but.
No, neither do I. Or maybe put this here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not so sure about this.
No, I'm not. I think it's not. I'm not sure that. I'm not B6. You don't have to play B6 immediately. You can play other moves first.
We're
but
just
my point,
showing.
Yeah.
Just
But my point was that with A5 first, you outrule B4, and B6 can be an idea to go for. So maybe you should play like rook
so
E8.
if you want to make a case for white, you would say yes, black has the pair of bishops, but what are they doing?
Yeah.
And what is this bishop doing here? I mean, it's hemmed in by all these pawns
it must be
squares.
B6 at the moment. You know, if it's going to.
And this
be
bishop,
something.
it cannot really be developed. You can go to D7, but that's not so much.
Yes.
And it could go to G4, but you don't want to exchange. So, and if you look at plans for white, well, he could double up. F6 is a slight weakening of the king side. It's good because you
I like
you
F6.
block yes, but you know who is it who says never play F6? There is some. Is it? I don't know. I don't remember now. But this is usually when you play the F pawn, you have to think a lot because you weaken the king. And I think maybe rook e3. He played rook e3 actually. Our suggestion was he heard us.
And then I mean it could be that you should play rook e8 here maybe just to swap off. I don't know.
But you could say, well, the bishops are not so strong in this position. And if you want to break up the pawn formation, you have to play b6, then c6 is weak, and so on. So, yeah, it's not so easy.
No, I agree.
Yeah. Okay, interesting game.
So it can be imbalanced, but my point is that you know black wants to have some kind of imbalance. There's one maneuver you can also think about, and that is to. I was thinking about, can you bring your bishop on c8 to g6 or?
Yeah, you could play bishop g4, I guess, and h5. But even if you get there, still not doing much.
No, it's not fantastic.
The queen retreats, goes to b3 maybe, or goes to
But
e2.
I think I want to exchange a pair of rooks actually with black here. Because that's the dangerous stuff. Yeah, okay.
I think the best for black would be if you could exchange a lot of pieces and maybe get into some ending, because... But white, the more I look at it, the more I like white, because I think white has he has some space on the queen side. I think d4 c5 is quite good in this. If black had the pawn on a7, he could play b6, you know. But now always weaknesses, and I think this pawn on g3 is very good also, because it limits the bishops. Black has no attacking chances, as far as I can see. Well, maybe he could go for f5 at some point.
No.
Well, he could.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay.
You know, to play
of
f4,
course,
but I don't see it happening.
No, because then you give the e5 square.
So now we jump to the next game.
Okay,
we're going to see Edwin. This will be the last.
Yeah, we should have something with Edwin at least, because we haven't seen anything from him so far. Almost.
Almost not.
You know, because he simply hadn't had his best tournament. So.
Well, he had an interesting start on the tournament, but I think he lost a game quite early, and then he met for like 5 or 6 games in a row. He played like these 15-year-old FIDE Masters. And he made the draws in every one of those games. Yeah. And those were games where he was the rating favorite, but he just couldn't beat these guys.
No, it's not so easy.
No, and I think it might have to do with the fact that he lost a game early, and he sort of lost his, you know,
confidence.
Yeah, confidence and momentum and all these things.
Yeah.
It's much easier if you win a few games and you get going.
And now he may play against an Avinash Ramesh from India and IM. So it might not be easy to beat him either, you know. We'll see.
Yeah,
but at least it's come back to, I think he has got 5 points or something like that, if I remember correctly. But
we can just quickly see the position was quite unusual. Okay, here we get something, d5. This is the type of thing you meet when you play on the internet, blitz. I don't think it's very good for black.
No, it shouldn't be, because
You
otherwise
take-
it should have been played many times.
But I think the best move here is here actually. This is what I play when I meet this in.
Have you played this position?
With white? Yes.
Mhm.
In not in long games, but in blitz.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. So I've studied it carefully.
You have studied it carefully. Okay.
No, but
okay.
Queen E2. I think Queen E2 is not so bad because you want to kick.
Yeah.
You want to kick the
course.
queen around.
And
a
right
bit.
now you have the advantage of having a
Yeah.
better pawn structure. So okay.
So,
yeah.
but he took, which is not wrong.
No, well,
But
at least now black has got probably no problems. So.
Yeah, and you want him to have this this
Look
problem.
at the time. Look at the time.
Yeah,
Again.
This thing here is a weakness.
Mm.
So when you take on d5, suddenly there is no weakness left to attack.
Mm.
I just cannot believe that this should be good or much better for white. So let's see what happened. There were some. Yeah. So here we are. Yeah, maybe white has a slight something, but it's not
No,
much.
well, I'm not. I think
No.
it's nothing.
Both kings are up.
And they are good.
Probably white's king is a little bit weaker than black's
Mhm.
because you can always hide behind the e pawn.
Yeah.
King e7, and rook d8 and bishop. Maybe Edwin has some chances.
But Edwin,
here.
Edwin, and also Edwin, you should know he's very good in just playing on. It's very can be a hard. Well, he can fight very hard.
He's a very strong player
Yes.
when he's in his good form, so to speak.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, should we
So-
go back?
We go back, so we have the draw on the first board.
Yes.
A very fascinating game, by the way.
No, not
Okay,
there.
not.
Okay.
Very fascinating, not. Okay.
But here we have a fascinating position.
Yeah,
I
so
think.
we have to go back here. We had this,
Yes.
and we said that black is taking some.
No, I actually
Risk
played this idea that I had with c4.
Yeah.
That's
He
interesting.
took, and he played c4.
Yes.
It's very logical, I think.
Yes, because what's happening now is that you give, you lose your own structure in the
Yeah.
center, but on the other hand, black would like to like to play e5 in the
Mhm.
next move, but white must do something against it, must challenge, and this is what he's doing. So now e5 you can simply take on d5, and it should be fine for white. Huh?
But now he took on c4.
Yeah,
Do you have to do
No,
that?
that's-
Couldn't you just castle here?
that's a bit surprising as well.
I would have
Our
expected.
castle is very.
I would
logical.
have expected this move.
Yeah, maybe knight c3.
Yeah, white just continues. Knight c3, bishop
Yes,
g5.
because
and so on.
because d4, knight
No, no,
e4. Look at some strange.
Yeah, it doesn't look so good.
No, I agree.
Okay, so he took, and probably he did that to exchange queens and take.
And if we look at the time, we can see that Hebela has probably made
Mhm.
a preparation on this
Yeah.
line. What's happening now is that he will be slightly worse, but he knows that this is absolutely okay.
Yeah, he has this initiative against f2.
Yeah.
So now suddenly he has.
So for example, if we can force white to play bishop e3,
Yeah.
it will be draw immediately almost,
Yeah.
because you have the same structure and so on.
So in the
Mhm.
game there was rook f1, knight e.
Mhm. Yes. Yes. Okay.
So here we are.
Yeah, here we are. Okay, logical moves, and we have a position where, like we said, white should be slightly better due to the 3 pawn islands. But on the other hand, what has happened here is that Hebela has managed to swap a lot of pieces, and it will be a strategic game,
Mhm.
and he's ready to take this fight, and he relies on his defending skills. And this can be a very good strategy because also Demchenko have shown that he can be very strong in this type of dynamic positions. I think where he can have a counter-attack at a specific moment. So,
But if you played here, would you take white or black?
I would absolutely take white.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Because you have this weakness here.
Yeah.
And the only thing that's sort of in black's favor here is this pressure on f2 here. Without that,
but next move, rook a e1 will come, huh? And then you threaten the knight.
It's actually black's move.
Yeah, I know. I just say the next move will, if not, maybe castle should be. I don't know if you castle, if you rook f8. Maybe you want the king to be in center. I'm not sure.
Rook f8.
And now,
what do we do here?
What do we do? Bishop e, bishop e5 maybe, yeah. Can you take on f3 with a rook and then play knight d2?
Going for fork town.
This is on f3, c4, f1.
Probably bishop e5 was
a mistake.
We would like to play this move here, but then we have this fork.
Exactly.
The bishop goes.
So there are some.
So maybe rook f8
or castle. I cannot say which one is the best. It's a little bit tricky. And white can always play bishop e3 here.
Yeah.
I mean, then it's
then it's equal. Or
a little bit better for white still,
maybe
but
slightly.
Quite a lot of the advantage is lost due to the symmetrical pawn structure. So and the king on e7 and so on. So, but what to do instead? Because bishop to g3, then probably black will take it and have a pair of bishops. And do you think? What do you think about this?
Yeah, still fairly equal. I mean, e6 is now very weak, and black's only play, we said he had this
probably
is
white
gone.
is better here also. So
yeah, slightly better maybe. I don't know if you can do some g5 stuff and try to be very active, but I think rook a e1 and it could be in the end there could be a position where white is a pawn up, but it's a double pawn here.
Exactly.
And with some rooks and draw coming.
So good drawing chances at least for
black has activity, I think, enough to compensate at least part of this weakness on e6. Okay, so let's go to the next game.
Yes.
This is so he took with the rook. We had this position and we discussed should black take with the rook or the pawn, and both are of course playable, but they showed different levels of ambition.
Yeah, if you take with a pawn symmetrical, the draw is close, if I put it this way. At least it should be. It's difficult to win if white plays like, for example, a4, queen e2, knight c4, and so on.
Yeah. You play here, and the knight maybe goes here, or even up here, and then the bishop comes out, and So,
it's not so fun. So he tried something, at least to get a different pawn structure between white and black. So yes.
So typically in these positions, you try to attack e4, and you try to prove that this is a weakness. And so typical moves is moving the queen up, maybe even doubling on the e file.
But I like this bishop. Knight e4 must be the move, huh?
Yeah.
Because now you cannot take on e4.
No. So he played g5.
Yeah, and then you force the take on c6. Huh?
So with every move now, it's getting less symmetrical. And here we are.
Now we have this is quite an interesting structure in a way, because white has got the pair of bishops. It looks a little bit strange to have the pawn on g5, h6, the same color as your own bishop. But as there is no knight on the board, it's not so easy for white to make use of these squares that you can see on h5, f5, the white.
And even if, let's say, the queen went here and you sacrifice a pawn and you get a check on h7, it turns out this check didn't do much.
No, that's
so
right.
Even if white gets his most, the best he could get, it's nothing. So black is probably very safe in this position.
I think that instead probably white should play more positionally, maybe even with f3 and bishop f2. And
but then black he can play rook b8.
But what I mean is that you have a little bit of a pawn on a5. Maybe you can try to play not on the king's side, but actually on the queen's side with white. Maybe. Because if black, would do something like you know, d5 or f5, then suddenly white's bishops will come to life. So
I mean, of course, white is always this idea with the queen and getting to h7 will always be there. In the right moment, it can be very strong, of course. So this bishop here could be the hero of the game in some situation, because black cannot counter on the white squares.
But there is one thing: if it is black to move, do you think that black would play bishop e5?
But it isn't black; it's white.
No, I know. But if we take a look at the position, because one very important question is what pieces do you want to swap off? And if you play like bishop e5,
I don't think black wants to swap pieces right now. Do you?
No.
Do you think?
Maybe, because if you can play the knight against the bishop,
yes,
it could be interesting, you know, to play. That's why I say maybe f3. You know,
but I'm just thinking that
back, but I don't know.
If you exchange this bishop looks quite good here, because you have this pressure down this. So you would look for things like this, you know, to increase the pressure, and
yeah, maybe
you will try to.
Will you put then maybe also you can, yeah, I don't know.
But what you say is that no, black is going to exchange the bishop here.
Maybe, and it's a little bit of a question, because if you do that, what should white do?
That's another question. I don't know,
because then you can.
Yeah, but of course you can go for this exchange. But what I'm thinking is that the king side is quite open. Maybe you can put the queen on f6 and so on. But at some point f4 could come. This could be a problem for black.
Maybe.
And where is black's play? What's he actually trying to do here? I would, if I was black, I would definitely try to do something here, and you know, try to destabilize the pawn formation here on the queen side. But yeah, it's a hard fight. This will be an interesting game. So let's make a little bit of a jump here. And this was the game where we know that the black player has a chance for a GM norm, right?
Yes,
an
that's right.
8-round GM norm.
So he needs to win against his country friend D. Lee with black. So it's not an easy task, of course.
Not an easy task. And we can just see what happened here. There was a5 played, and now he played d4, which I find, I don't think I would have played d4 here. Would you play d4?
I think I need to analyze a bit first before I can say. But at least with the pawn on a5, if you open up this long diagonal, a6 must be like a threat, you know. So what about d4, knight, b5, and a6? Could that be played?
Well, d4 was played, and now
he didn't play knight b5.
No.
So there must be something after this.
Is it e5 or something like that?
Yeah, but if you play e5, my idea was to play a6. Isn't that something?
Should we look at it, maybe?
Yeah, we can do that.
I mean, it doesn't threaten. Well, you threaten to take and play knight c5, maybe. So let's say we play queen b6 here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we play knight to d6.
Okay.
And go for the bishop.
Maybe we can take on a6 and say
maybe.
Thanks for the point.
I don't say that this is I just say that you know at least I would look for this type of ideas, and but as always, as we see here also, strategy and tactics will go hand in hand in a way when in this type of position. So okay, so I mean knight e4 is obviously a more safe choice in a way, you know.
Maybe it's so there was an exchange and queen c7. And this is the position right now. And if we look at the times, we can see that they are evenly matched. So they are both out of their sort of tactical preparation. They might still have some strategic ideas, you know, from preparation, but they have probably not looked at exactly this position. I wouldn't think so.
And now, of course, the question is this with a6, but I'm not sure I think you just take it.
Yeah, that's the problem.
The way it is now.
Yeah.
I think it's okay.
So I think white should be looking at maybe some way to sort of attack the d4 square. I don't know. Do you want to go for some exchange?
But
maybe?
how do you do
Yeah,
it?
I don't know. It's not so easy.
Of course, you have like rook a4. I mean, you have this type of like if you put pressure and so on, but also
It's also
e5
clear-
and f5 and in the long run, if black just consolidate his position, you know, he might have chances with his extra pawn in the center and so on. So.
Yeah. It's strategically.
This will be a very interesting
this
game,
is
I think.
strategically very interesting, and this will not be a draw fast.
No, but look at next game. Look at the time. Look at the time.
Yeah.
More than 1 hour more on the clock. This is incredible.
We should remind the viewers that there was this very unusual bishop move
Yes.
in the opening.
And obviously he was not prepared
Obviously
for that.
this has been played, but Krzysztof Racek here, he knew that in this game it would be important to unsettle his opponents a little bit, and he managed to do that. So already here he had a lead in 20 minutes, and here is a half an hour lead, and Racek still has more time than he started with.
Yes.
So we saw some.
He has played. I think he's played this setup with white in 100 bullet games or something like that.
Yes,
You know,
for
and just
sure. Yeah, he knows.
blitzing them out.
Yeah,
You know.
I think Nakamura said something. I'm not afraid of a guy who has played 100 openings. I'm afraid of a guy who has played one opening 10,000 times on lead chess.
That's a good quote, maybe. Okay. No, now it's you know, now you threat. Yeah, he needs to take because otherwise you go. Yeah. Yes.
And now Dotzer has only 24 minutes left.
Exactly.
So this has been a
I mean,
catastrophic start for him.
but the interesting thing is that I think the position looks quite normal.
Yeah.
You know, the only thing that is not normal is that one guy has been thinking. He still has. Oh my God.
He has 4 minutes more than when
he started.
in the start of the game. And Dotzer has only 23 minutes left.
Yeah,
This
and now
is
a3.
unusual.
But I mean, if we just look at the position, it should be okay.
Yes, but now Black has played f6, which is a concession, I would say.
And knight e4, you will get the pair of
Yeah.
bishops maybe. So
No, this is not going Dotzer's way, I can say. The mere fact that he has used so much time and his position, I would say he is slightly worse.
yeah, even on the board, you know, if we just
just a little bit, nothing dramatic. But now midnight e4, you can take the bishop, and problems. Okay, we
So
will see what happens.
Yeah, well,
here.
maybe you have to move your queen somewhere,
Yeah,
you know, and
well,
go back with the bishop.
yeah.
But I mean, he should be okay. But it's more like, you know, a little bit of pressure. You know, if you play like
Well, he played a3. He didn't play knight e4. But
no,
the
he couldn't play. He couldn't play. No, I mean now you're threatening to play knight e4.
Yeah, exactly.
But so maybe queen f8.
Maybe, or queen f7.
No, I don't
maybe?
like that as much because
Okay.
then I think you play knight e4 and
Okay, no.
bishop g3.
But this is also queen f8. I mean, how often do you play that?
No.
one? It's very
Just
ridiculous.
you know, knight
Yeah,
e4
probably.
and bishop e7.
Yeah,
So it should. I mean,
I agree.
it's easier to play white.
Probably it's okay,
Mhm.
but with the times, it's very difficult. Okay, let's go to the next game. So we have Krishna Sai against Nikita Meshkovs. And we saw, let's see, where were we?
This strange.
We were here somewhere.
Yes, and the question was how to go. Okay,
D5 was played.
that was an interesting
Mhm.
move. Because now if it takes on c6, there you can take with the knight on c3. Yeah.
And this must be good for black.
Yep.
So instead, he took en passant,
Mm-hmm. Now you need
Knight
to take
takes.
back. Yeah.
a3, bishop c5, b4. So white got a pair of bishops. Which
White is really fighting to get like
yeah.
something in the game, you know.
But this looks fairly good
Yes,
for white, I think.
Yes. I'm not sure that Meshkovs has played the best from that position. I'd actually,
Do you prefer white?
I don't know. Of course, you can. You can play maybe go to d4 with one of the knights.
Mhm.
I'm not sure.
So
Maybe.
if you go with this one, yeah, probably. This g4 is not dangerous. You have the check, I guess. So what does white play? Bishop d3 or?
Yeah, that's what I think. Bishop b7.
And it's a
maybe.
game.
And bishop b7, maybe just like this.
Can we just castle? Or do you have some
Which
tricks?
side?
Well, queen's side looks
Yeah.
dangerous.
Yeah, and rook d8 or something like that. You have a, you know, it will be dangerous to play g4, I guess. So
Knight d5 could come at some point, maybe
Mhm.
some
Mhm.
tricks.
mhm. No,
Okay.
no, it's a game, like you said. You know.
It's a game.
Mhm.
Yeah, he played knight cd4.
Yeah, that's what the move we made as well.
Yes, and probably
Bishop d3.
Bishop d3 would be.
Because you cover up the c2 check, and you do not want. If black can take on e2, black will be fine most likely. Mhm.
But this pawn formation here is not perfect for white.
No.
If you could get sort of amend this a little bit, it would be good. If you
Mhm.
could move back the
Yes.
but
Yes.
you cannot. So let's go to the next game.
Mhm.
And here we have this g4 thing. We had
Yes.
this position, and Dominic surprised his opponent with this move.
But he surprised back with this move because now white
Yeah.
played thought for a long time.
Yes,
Oh,
Bishop g2.
I think Queen b4 looked very strange to me.
Really? Why?
Yeah, with the Queen on e3, why not just play something normal here? You know? Because with that, you know, a little bit
Mhm.
going into the play that white is looking for, you know, to get in a quick development, you know.
Yeah. So what can you do? c5?
Well,
But
maybe.
the e4 is hanging. You
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah, you have to.
What can you
Of
do?
course, you have to do something, you know. I mean, my suggestion was to take on c3, to play simple, you know,
Well, yeah, that's possible.
and then just develop after that.
Do
You
you
know,
take with the queen or in pawn?
Yeah. I believe.
Yeah,
I mean-
and
Yeah, and just play like
Play and,
b6
yeah.
and you know, something like
Yeah,
that. And
yeah,
what
I
are
agree.
you doing with your pawn on
yeah,
g5?
I agree. It looks good.
But okay, because after Queen b4, at least now, you know, because now you can take a pawn on c4, but then knight e5, suddenly, you know, a little bit white will get this play that g4 is indicating. So
Mhm.
that was.
Yeah,
a
but I
surprise.
think Horvath has played well now because he has not doubled down on this attack with some h4 or something. He's just going for a kingside castle and sort of limiting the
But also now,
Problems.
if we look at the time now, he started to think a lot.
yeah.
Because he was far ahead, but
Mhm.
now he realized probably after Queen b4 that, you know, it's not so easy.
It's
I
not
think.
easy. It's not so easy. Okay, very good. So
Mhm.
let's make a jump to the Swedish.
Yeah. Okay.
And we had e4 and bishop b1 and then
Knight a5.
but it took him actually almost
Half an hour.
40
minutes.
to play knight a5.
Okay. So when he comes, we need to ask him if he has changed his strategy from what he said to us yesterday.
Yeah, he said he was focusing on playing fast.
Yeah, that's right. Not finding the best move, but playing fast. And
It
then
quickly changed.
And then he quickly changed. Yes, that's right.
No, it wasn't so good.
No, I don't know.
No, but knight a5 is, I would say, it's not the obvious move, but it's one of the obvious moves
Mhm.
that you can try.
But I can say in this type of position, sometimes, you know, like knight to g3
Mm-hmm.
and then f3 might be interesting. So here you can think about sacrificing a
Yeah,
pawn actually.
yeah.
Because this pawn on c4 is not so important, you know. So play this. Let's say rook e8. For example.
Let's.
No,
Ah,
then
yeah,
it's
yeah,
hanging
yeah,
on
yeah,
e4. So
sorry,
you need,
sorry,
you need
sorry. Yes,
this, and
yes.
now f3.
Yeah.
And if you want to take and queen take here and maybe e4 or something like that, you know. And suddenly it starts
So
to.
now you could maybe take and play d5 or something.
Yeah, maybe. Then castles, and it's hanging on
That's
f7.
true. Yeah, and
So
C4
it's.
is hanging also.
I just say that this type of sacrifice, I have been lost with black sometimes. So that can be that this type
we've
of.
seen this also with the computers
Yeah.
in the Nimzo Indian, that they gladly give this pawn on c4. This was considered to be such a strong strategic idea to take
Yes.
the c4, but the computers has shown that
Yeah,
take
okay.
it,
But
take it.
if we open up the
Yeah.
position, our
Yeah.
bishops, that is more important.
Yeah,
maybe,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah.
So I guess that knight g3 and f3,
Yeah.
at least I'm sure it's something that
Yeah,
Tiger has
if
evaluated.
white starts to play moves like
Bishop
you know,
a2,
bishop
yeah.
a2, like
Yeah.
things like that,
d6,
which is
c5,
playable,
yeah.
but then black is sort of vindicated.
Yeah, c5 is probably very
Yeah.
strong, for example,
The-
because then he's tied down.
Then black is setting the agenda. And I
Mhm.
think, as you said, white should not fall into that trap. The correct way is, as you said, you should go for the attack here and use the pieces where they are. And he always has rook a2 when he wants to and bring the rook over to the king side. So he
Okay.
can put all these pieces on the attack here. Very
But I
interesting.
got one idea. Okay, because knight g3,
Yeah.
rook e8,
Yeah.
f3,
Yeah.
take, and take. You have knight b3 maybe.
Okay. So there is a little bit of a trick.
So it might be that there is a
Yeah,
trick, you know.
Maybe. But what in this position?
But you can also take with the. Maybe you can even take with a pawn, you know. Or you can.
Yeah.
Or you can. Or you can cut. Yeah.
I was thinking about this move.
Yes. Could also be.
Because now we have this beautiful rook doubling coming here, like this.
And now maybe
then we-
take on c4, e4 again. We have
Yeah.
at least we have some play here, you know.
So I think your idea is good, even though queen takes was perhaps not.
No. Again, like always, that's why I say that. What is so difficult also for us in the commentating is that the players are just like we normally knows the positional ideas and strategic ideas, but what they do that they have more time to actually combine it with tactical small finesses that make it work or not work and so on. So it's typically what we miss. But yes, I agree. This is a very dangerous.
Do we miss things?
Well, at least I have missed at least 2 mate in 1, I think, so far.
I don't,
so
we don't count that.
We don't count that.
no,
Okay,
no.
thank you.
Mm.
I'm happy for that.
Okay. I think I missed
Even more, maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
more.
No, I think it's not possible. But okay.
Yeah, it's possible. Okay, so this is very interesting.
But this will be really interesting to follow this game.
This is going to be a cracker of a game, I
Yeah,
think.
I think so too.
So we have to go to the next, and we had Eric, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so we saw rook e3,
Mm-hmm.
and we liked that quite a lot. And as you said, exchange.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that
Because
was-
otherwise, it's like rookie.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
I think it would
it's
be would have
yeah.
been too dangerous.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think.
it would have been very, very dangerous.
Yeah.
So there was an exchange here.
Because now, if you take with the queen, even though the queen comes in, it's not that dangerous. You know, when
Yeah,
so that was my idea. Okay.
So he played a4,
Mm-hmm.
and now we see another idea that we sort of hinted at.
Mm-hmm.
Knight f5.
So because now it started to happen stuff, you know.
Yeah,
But Eric is taking risks
of course.
because
But he wants to win.
Yeah, he wants to be exactly. And now, the threat is of course knight e7 and take on c6.
Mm-hmm.
That is in the pipeline.
Yeah.
So if you take, and also if, to take on f5, then you have taken away the.
This does not look
No,
very...
it doesn't look very good, huh? I don't like this for. Take on c5.
Now really you feel this f6 weakness
Yes,
one.
yes.
You would really like to have the pawn on f7.
Mm-hmm.
You want to take on c5 here? We can check it just to see what
Mhm.
happens.
And I was thinking, but either you can give a check and take on c6, but I guess you take on c5.
Yeah.
Very simple chess, you know.
And then maybe because bishop e5, maybe you just go take the pawn, or maybe
Mhm.
maybe even knight f3. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What do you think?
Maybe.
Is this?
I would say knight f3, but I'm not sure. Check and then check
and then check, and king goes away.
and take on
And take here.
here.
Yeah, it's
But okay,
well.
I don't know.
I guess it's playable for both sides.
But it
But
feels like white is better in this position.
Yeah.
Because it's also, rook d3 will come, if you know.
So after knight f5,
Mm-hmm.
there has been a move. B takes c5.
Okay. So knight e7 check. Do you play that, or do you take?
I'm not sure. You could
Do you
also,
take?
or you could
Mhm.
take, but let's just
check. Yeah.
You cannot move to the center because h7 is hanging
So
here.
much king
So you
h8.
have to play here.
And
What
now-
happens if we take this?
Yeah, that's what I want to do. And now you cannot play queen d6 because of rook e8. So let's say
Can
queen
you do
d7.
this?
Yeah, that's right. And now,
Mhm.
well, you would like to play like take on c5 and take on d5, but
But then
it
it's
simply
queen
doesn't
g8
work.
at the end.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah.
You look for some tactics here. You want
Yeah, because this is a tactical position. I
Yeah.
think.
but it's not so easy.
Mhm.
I mean, you.
This somehow it feels wrong to do like this. I think if there is no good tactics here.
Yeah, it looks. I mean, this position looks.
Take on c5. I
But
think
let's see this.
But now, is it bishop e5 now?
But what happens if we just go into the
Yeah,
same
but that's
same
what I mean.
idea? You
Okay.
just play this move,
Mm-hmm. And if I take,
the bishop. Yeah, but now maybe we can do this. You have to go here, and what happens here?
and queen d7.
Queen d7. Yeah.
Maybe now you have queen e2, threatening the bishop.
Well, I guess you could move the bishop,
To a6.
but this is of course dangerous.
Then white is slightly better, I think, in
Yeah,
that position,
yeah,
due to
Yeah, this is dangerous. This is very dangerous. It's not clear.
So, okay, so what is the time like? Okay, even time. No, what I like with it now, at least something is happening here. Huh?
Yeah, definitely.
So you took on c5. Let's take a look. So, okay, what should white play?
Well, taking on c5 looks like a solid choice.
Yes. Yeah, it looks normal.
Could there be some? Is there something else here? No. No, white does not have enough. He cannot go crazy. This knight e7 is premature, so taking is probably best. And we'll see what happens. Very interesting position, and we have interesting knights against bishops. And I think the strategy in these positions is usually that you need to jump around a little bit with the knights and keep them working. Because black does not mind a static game with good bishops or so, because eventually the bishops will be strong in this position. But right now black has not gotten his pieces to the right squares, so some chances here for white. Okay, so let's
chances for both. At least at least what has happened now is that he has managed to Erik to get out of this static position.
Right.
And that I think he's happy for that, at least.
But
Okay, let's see.
it's a game with
It's a game. It's an
three
interesting game.
results, right?
Good.
Okay, so we have this one. It's getting more and more drawish, I would say.
But
so
I think that black is slightly better here.
yeah, but
He's fast, but okay.
no, I don't. I would evaluate these pawns on the queen side as
Well, bishop d5.
yeah,
Where do you put your bishop?
d3.
Okay.
Then maybe at some point you.
Rook. Yeah.
No, it's
No,
fairly
it's-
equal.
it's fairly equal,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
fairly equal.
But black is active. He's got a good king, and goes
Yeah.
to d6, bishop on d5, and so
Yeah.
on. It will
If he
be
manages to get his pawns rolling, maybe f5, e5, at some point maybe e4, rook on d8, c8, and but white will also make moves, and there is always in these situations a danger that this passed pawn on the queen side could be important. For instance, in the bishop's ending, this could be very strong.
No, it's fairly equal, of course.
Yeah. Fairly equal. So let's go back.
Yes.
And we go to this game.
Yes.
And we have an interesting move here, because in this position we were saying, what about rook f8? But he played king f8. What do you say about that? Is that possible?
Looks so strange. What is that? How can you play?
No, he didn't play king f8.
Thank God.
That was
I didn't have to explain that move, because that looked so strange to play king f8. You know, but we said that either the king should stay or you castle. You know, but castle looked normal. You know, rook f8 or castle.
No, but the DGT board registered the king sliding over, and but then it's rectified. So,
yes, correct.
So, good.
Yeah,
good.
Thank you.
We didn't have to explain king f8.
Yes.
What would you have said? Well, this is very interesting.
I was ready to say that I don't understand anything. That was.
I'm quitting. I'm quitting. Yeah. Okay. So.
Okay, but
castles.
We said bishop g3. Yeah. If you want to play on.
Yeah, we said bishop. You said that this you can always do this. It's more like offering a draw.
Yeah, that's right.
But you could also, in this position, go here.
Because the problem was to go to bishop to e5, you could take on f3 and knight d2. Yeah, so
something like this, and but of course now black has the pair of bishops.
Wait. I suddenly got an idea. Can you play bishop e5? Try bishop e5 again. I don't know if you don't want to get, you know. I had one idea here.
You mean here?
Yeah, bishop e5. We said take on f3. G take f3.
Was it this position? Yeah.
Aha, okay. It's.
Or was it with?
No, my idea was to go for rook d1. But then you still make it. Yeah, okay. It doesn't work. No, I saw that the bishop was hanging.
I think I can take. Or
yeah, okay, exactly. So I go back again. So then bishop g3 maybe.
Yeah, it depends on what white wants here. What white decides.
But I think white should play on here. I mean, white is slightly better, so it should be.
Yeah, I prefer white. And I think he will. We have seen Demchenko has played very hard in most games. Why wouldn't he play here?
Of course.
He has lots to play for. So.
And no risks, really.
No risks. No risk, I would say.
Okay.
So then we go to the next one.
Yeah.
And bishop e5.
So,
but
are you going to talk about my bad moves now, Tom?
No, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's not the best.
Okay, that's it. Okay, see.
Okay, so knight d7 was played. Rook b1. White protected against something that hasn't happened yet. Bishop e5 was chosen.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, after rook b1, of course, rook b8 doesn't look so.
It was tempting. Again that's why I asked this question, because I was not, just like you, I was not sure. But I think this could be a strategic idea, because the bad bishop might be the one on c2. So the idea was that if white didn't play f3, because then the bishop could get out of this, could be a way. But okay.
Yeah, interesting. I don't think this bishop will be very weak, because it could go to a4, for instance.
Yes.
It could go sometimes to b3.
Yeah.
So we have always possibilities to play on these diagonals here. Even though maybe this diagonal
but
is
also you could say that if you play bishop b5, then you can play c5, and you have all your pawns on your on a different square than the bishop on c2.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's in one way. On one way,
but
it's a strategic
sometimes when you do that, your position becomes a Swiss cheese, and this bishop has diagonals everywhere, and it becomes super strong.
So pros and cons.
Yeah, pros and cons.
But at least now you're threatening to take on g3. I think this you don't want to play with.
No,
with a knight on e5.
I wouldn't like that.
Great.
No, I think white has to choose either to protect the bishop. Maybe could possibly be a move.
With queen f3 or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Could be. If you want to, you could.
Or
do
rook
that.
e3.
Also, rook e3 is possible. But the most likely, I guess, would be to take here, right?
Actually, I see that he played rook e3.
Oh, he played rook e3.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Because, well, of course, because if you take now,
Then
on
you
g3, rook, to,
may-
then
maybe-
you're ready to go for f4
Yeah,
and
yeah.
this stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's
no, this is actually interesting battle, I think.
Yeah, I wouldn't rule out any result here.
No.
I think all results are possible,
Mm.
and we'll just have to wait to see what happens. So we go to the next game,
Mm.
and we know in this game, Black Xi
Mm.
is playing for a GM norm, but he must win.
Mm.
Um,
This was an interesting move,
and
actually.
we have to check what happened here. So we had this position.
Yep.
We saw Queen C7, and now he played Queen D3, Bishop D7, and Queen C4.
That was interesting. Because after Queen D3, you also had the possibility of Knight B4 and stuff like that. But okay.
We can.
But it looks a little bit premature, but I just say that it's a little bit interesting to put yourself in, when you have this possibility to go like this,
I guess you could.
But you
Yes.
open up for A6 again sometimes. So
Yeah.
Queen D2 maybe.
Yeah, I was thinking about this move.
And maybe
Probably you have to go back again.
that's right.
I don't-
Okay.
Okay, so in the game we have this position.
Mm-hmm.
So White is playing around this pawn on D4.
But okay, rook FC8, doesn't it look okay? And then
Yeah, it looks okay. Do you want to play rook?
maybe rook
F?
AC8. Maybe rook AC8 is better. Yes.
To get out of
this.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I see.
thinking. maybe.
Okay.
What do you think about this?
I don't know. But my idea was also knight c5. Maybe you just played bishop e8,
Mm-hmm.
or you can play knight e5, of course, and take the knight. Okay. So it was not good.
So from
I think black must be okay.
from an activity point of view, you could say that White is a little bit more active. It looks like he has more options with A6 and so on.
Mm-hmm.
But strategically, Black has a very sound position.
Mm.
Yeah, he played rook AC8 here.
Maybe you play bishop d2.
Yeah, White will try to develop the pieces. Do you do bishop f4 first, or do you?
No, but then I think e5 is actually quite okay.
You want to do that?
Yeah, I think so.
I was thinking, how is
Is
this?
this worse, you think?
No, maybe not. Maybe now bishop e6 is possible.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, rook fd8 and bishop
Yeah,
e6.
so probably bishop d2 immediately is better. Yeah, it's a fight.
It's a fight.
Yeah, and it's up to the players to find ideas.
Mm.
This could be one of those situations where there is nothing much is happening actually right now. So it's just a question: can you unsettle your opponent?
Mm-hmm.
Talking about unsettling opponents, let's have a look at this game.
So he didn't play rook ac8. He played instead. Okay, I
So
see.
bishop h4 was played, rook fd8, a3, rook ac8.
He played rook
Knight
because,
e4.
like I said, I thought he was going to move his queen.
And he did,
But then one move later.
yeah.
Because at
But-
least now you can take on c5.
The only positive thing for Black is the fact that now White has started to think.
Also because knight takes c5, knight takes c5.
Yeah.
Then you are bishop a6. If you move back your bishop, you will have knight a6.
We can
Bishop to a6. Huh?
So,
So bishop c2 now. Bishop a6 is maybe
suddenly the knight has a
yeah.
possibility to jump. It threatens to take, and you have to move the bishop. And it's not clear where you go. If you go back,
Bishop a6.
then you have to watch out for this one.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's dangerous, but it's something you have to think about.
Yeah.
And if you instead play your bishop, let's say up here, then the queen will go somewhere, maybe
h5.
even here, yeah.
Now you're threatening to knight c3, take on f3.
And suddenly the bishop is not so good.
Yeah.
Then. So, okay. So maybe Black is finding his way again in this game.
I mean, like I said before, most likely, Black is not worse in a way.
No.
It's just like he has lost 1 hour on the clock,
Mhm.
which is not unimportant,
No, true.
So okay, so how many moves is it?
16
16 moves.
played. So 24 moves.
So he has 16 minutes left on the last 24 moves. Huh?
Yeah. And then he gets half a minute for every move he makes.
And he
also.
will get an extra half an hour. Huh?
And then at 40 moves, he gets half an hour
Yeah,
extra.
that's right.
So he can play on.
Mhm.
So a tough game.
What do you think?
I think
Is
it's
it equal?
I think it's sort of balanced in a way from a
Yeah.
chess perspective.
Mhm.
Maybe both have chances, I would say.
Mhm.
I don't know if you can at some moment maybe play a move like b4, if that could be a move. Or,
The only thing is a little bit dangerous is
yeah,
that the C3.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's not so easy, but yeah, I would follow up with some rook
Mhm.
c1. Or maybe you could do rook c1 now. I don't know.
Hmm.
Anyway, let's go to the next game. Lots of things happening. Okay, here we had shocking development. Bishop d3 was played, bishop b7, and now castling queenside. This is castling into it, as we say.
Yeah, that again, he's playing really, really hard. This Sai Krishna here, playing tough game, but he has been thinking a lot for the last moves. It's also a little bit, dangerous to get. If you castle short side, you don't want to have your pawn on f4, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Because the long diagonal is very strong then from b7 down to g2.
Yeah, you could argue that. Well, White has all the pieces, but I think the problem for White is that he has moved his pawns.
Mm.
If the pawns were instead of b4 and a3, they were on a2 and b3. This would look a little bit more safe. And now, of course, Black plays a5, immediately threatening to open the position.
Mm.
I mean, this is quite dangerous. And in the right moment, Black will of course castle, and he will bring in the other rook. And
What about if you take on f5 in this position?
you want to take?
Yep.
Okay, take. You have to.
Okay. It's a threat on c5. My idea was to play knight b5, but you have a check. I
Yeah.
didn't see it. So okay, then it's not good.
It's getting windy,
Mhm.
as they say.
Mhm.
So,
No, you need to have something very quickly here.
So
Now it's very sharp. Now it's very, very sharp
Yeah.
position. So
And-
White
and-
really needs to find something here.
this is very dangerous.
But the pawn on c4 is weak also.
It's weak, but okay. It's not falling immediately. I guess you want to play g4 at some point, but if
Yeah.
you play g4 now, what happens? Do you take the rook, or what do you do?
Yeah, it could be.
Can you play this?
Maybe you take on b4. Just open.
Yeah, we can start by taking here just to see.
I
I guess you take back.
Because if you take on c3, bishop takes c3.
But
No, it doesn't look good. Huh?
I don't know.
Okay, so now take on h1. Is it possible?
We take here, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Very tricky position.
Yes. I mean, yeah. The knight is hanging. So, okay, maybe it's wrong to take on... You don't have to, huh? Do you?
Well, take on b4 cannot be wrong.
No, that must be right.
That must be right. So
You
question
can give a
is-
check on b3.
Yeah, I know. I saw
That is
that.
the good one.
Yeah. And maybe if we go up, there is another check, so we have
Yeah.
to go here.
And then, but I think
And now-
maybe you do that anyway,
Now you take.
No, I think maybe you take anyway.
Yeah,
I'll go there anyway.
Yeah. I think this is a much better way to play than taking the rook. So probably this is why this is not.
But okay, because now it looks in a way beautiful. But rook a e1. Let's just how do black continue here?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it looks beautiful, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's not.
You have all the pieces ready, but they are a little bit strangely placed,
And sometimes you have to think, where is the mate? If I could where do I deliver the mate?
Mhm.
And you think, if only I had my queen on the A file.
Mm.
But then when you put it there, you realize that there is no mate.
Mm.
Queen A1 you take, and then you go to
Mhm.
B2. A2 is protected by the knight.
So this is, but he played King B1.
Well, I can understand why he didn't play G4.
Mm-hmm.
But King B1 it's a safe move, I guess. And now G4 is threatened because there's no check.
But I guess you take on B4 now.
Yeah,
first
now
time.
you take this one for sure.
And then take back, and now
Maybe you move the knight back. Or
and now, of
something
course,
like that.
I mean, the move you want to do is, of course, to castle. I mean, that's the move you want to play. But then we have this problem that you don't have this check. So then you have to take on H1 and all this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that didn't look so great.
I was thinking, but of course, knight C6 you could maybe take on F5, and then you have
Mhm.
rook E1 and so on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not the end to lose the B pawn. Yeah. So yeah, these knights are nice, but these coupled knights protecting
Mhm.
each other is not always the best formation, right? They are sort of linked in a way that makes them both vulnerable.
What about if black makes a long castle here?
Yeah, that's a
That
good
would be
one.
interesting.
Yeah. That's a surprising move, but maybe
But the point is that you give stability to
yeah.
the knight on D4, you know.
And then suddenly, then I think white is better. Just playing normal moves.
Mm-hmm. Rook D7,
Yeah, but white.
Rook D8.
Yeah, but now white has the pair of bishops.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say bishop comes to E5 at some point, something like that could be very
Mhm.
dangerous.
Mm-hmm. But he's got a good strong point on D4, so
You want to do this?
yeah, that was I'm just suggesting.
Let's just.
Okay, knight E7.
Let's push forward and see what we can do here. So what do we do here? Yeah.
I mean, I just say that this could be, if you don't find anything else. I mean, if sometimes you need to do something like this controversial.
Maybe even a move like. Maybe you take. I want to go.
I know what you want.
I don't know if it's good. Also knight B5, but then you get D5, and I don't know, don't like that so much. Something like this, or maybe, yeah. What do you do after this?
Okay, I take.
Yeah. If I take with the queen, maybe you can take F4.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's not clear. I could take with the
With the bishop,
rook,
maybe.
or maybe bishop. Then you have a check.
A check, yeah.
Yes,
That's right.
Annoying. Let's say we do this. What's happening here? Maybe rook D8.
Maybe take.
Take on D3.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, take back.
And they take on C4.
Rook C2.
No, that's not a good move for me.
or rook
I agree.
C3.
I agree. Okay,
Mm,
so rook D8.
but rook D8 is probably good. So bishop E5 maybe. But then queen C6.
Mm. Okay,
Very tricky.
let's see what he took.
Yeah.
A take B4, A take
Yeah.
B4. Now the question
Yeah,
is,
another question.
because I mean, what you would like to. I mean, short castle is like the normal move. But what about G4? What is happening? Is there any tactical stuff after this? Should you take on? If you take on H1,
Take on F5.
take on F5.
Some bishop F3 or something, but you can just move the
Yeah,
rook.
I just try. What is the alternative?
Or even just queen takes.
exactly, and knight to D5 or
And
something
you
like
come
that.
with this.
Mm.
Something.
E5,
It could be.
E5.
Yeah.
But okay, no. This is not.
This looks very, very dangerous.
Yeah.
Could be playable maybe.
Because short castle is the move you want to make, but maybe it's G4. We need to find something in that case,
Yeah. Very, very complex. I think we will have to leave this to the players.
Okay, maybe also instead, yeah, this idea instead of playing rook d8, instead of castling, can you play rook d8?
Here.
Yeah. G4, knight e7.
Okay, but now G4, maybe you can take on H1.
Yeah, maybe even
and
that.
then move back. But,
Yeah.
but what some simple.
And now long castle, short castle. I mean.
Yeah, you can play this.
G4, knight e7.
Yeah. Still, I would prefer white here.
Yeah, that it's dangerous now because it's
maybe even knight d5 and queen takes.
maybe
things like
even.
that. I don't know. Maybe you can take with
Take on h7, check, and rook d3. Sometimes you can even place this hard.
This is very, very dangerous.
Yeah. Okay.
And now you take away most of your chances on the queen side.
Yes.
So now it's
Yes.
only a question of can white do something?
Yeah.
And I think he can.
Yes,
So.
I think it will be very interesting to see next move by Neshkov here.
Okay, so let's go forward.
H5 maybe.
Yeah, there are many
Many
yeah,
possibilities.
Yeah, he could find something like that. This could be playable. I don't know.
Yeah.
H5, interesting. But later on, he will have to decide where to castle. But your queenside castle was
But
definitely
then maybe
interesting.
H5, take on F5 and knight B5. Phew.
Yes,
not nice.
Yes.
No, then it's check on E4. My God.
I don't think you should take.
No. It was a try to find a forced line, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Rook A, is it going? Yeah, to E1, maybe.
Yeah.
Again, because now
This cannot be a bad move. I mean, it looks
because
good.
castling now. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
This looks, at least this looks more normal. I think H5 might be the move actually,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because
Okay,
G4 was so dangerous.
Yeah, G4 is extremely dangerous move. Yeah.
This-
Maybe H5. Still, I would prefer white here. I think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see. I don't see how black can play this actually. But maybe it's okay. I don't know. It looks dangerous though. Okay. So
Yeah. Okay.
we'll just have to
Mm-hmm.
wait and see. So we had this game. Oof. It's just getting more tricky all the time.
Happening here? My
Queen
God.
e3. So we saw queen b4
Mm-hmm.
and bishop d2. And now black surprised everyone with knight d6.
This I didn't see. This
No,
move.
no.
Okay.
But it's like you said that if you take on b2, for instance, then white can take on e4 and maybe this g4 g5 idea is not so bad. So
Mhm.
knight d6 was played, takes a knight, queen f4, knight b2. He's really pushing it here. Queen takes c7,
What
knight
is hap-
c6,
what
and
is hap-
suddenly it's
what is happening here?
complete crazy.
What are they doing? Okay, because now rook c1 is the normal mover, isn't it? They can take. You can take on c. You can take on c6,
Then you take the knight.
and
With
then
check.
bishop d2.
Bishop d2. You mean
No,
knight
knight b2, knight d2. I'm sorry.
Knight d2, yeah. And then I guess we have to move the rook.
Yes, to f8
Somewhere.
or somewhere.
And we have a threat to take on d1.
And then you take on c. Then I take on b7.
So let's look. Let's not
but-
analyze
well,
like
this
this.
is okay. So, take on c6.
You take.
Queen takes c3.
Yeah.
Knight to d2.
Yeah.
And now
We should just mention that this move is not so good here because there is a slight
problem.
Yeah, slight problem.
No, but knight d2.
So knight d2.
And now if you take on, I mean, my idea was take on d4, take on b7, and take on, because then you take on a8. You know, because the queen is hanging on c3.
But there's an
So it's really
interesting
sharp.
move here
Mm-hmm.
because we have this backward pin.
Yes, that's not
Often
usual.
missed. Often missed.
Often missed. Yeah. That's
You know
nice
that the most difficult moves to find in chess is
backward moves.
Backward queen moves,
Uh-huh.
where the queen moves through your own position.
Yeah.
Those are
That
the
was
most difficult.
this was a very nice move.
It's been tested by psychologists.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting move.
Very interesting situation. So
Okay.
we have this situation, and we want to see the rest of this game, right?
Mhm.
But
So rook c1, of course, is possible. But okay.
Yeah. We let's not dig into
No,
it too
because
much.
you'll get too much.
Yeah,
headache.
it will be too much. So we're gonna see Tiger,
Yeah. Ah.
and he didn't play knight g3,
No.
but
played
he went
the same idea
yeah,
that we
and
had.
he clearly shows that he wants to take with the pawn on
Yes.
f3.
But look at the time.
Mm-hmm.
How much did you think from bishop b1 till this f3 move?
Here he had almost.
He
all
was
his time.
thinking. I mean, this is
Okay.
so for f3. He was thinking only
almost an hour.
almost an hour,
Yeah.
and then he plays one single pawn move. You know, that's
Yeah.
not so impressive. I think. You know,
It should have been a longer move.
it should be a long. If you think so much,
Yeah.
at least, come on, move your queen or your bishop.
Yeah.
You know.
I agree with you.
You agree with me?
At least a knight move.
At least a knight move. Come on, a check or something. You know,
No,
but
but
okay.
maybe,
or a sacrifice. You know.
maybe something like that.
Okay.
But in this position now, we have exactly the strategic ideas and possibilities that we were discussing already.
Yeah.
So I don't think we should waste
No.
much time here. We can
Yep.
just say that, yeah, they went the way we
Mhm.
thought.
Mhm.
And here things have happened actually.
Yes.
So we saw this position, and he took the check.
Okay.
King h8, and he took on c5.
But is the knight better on e7?
And now bishop d7.
Yeah.
And then he came with the other knight.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the idea is just to
Knight to d4.
maybe go to d4.
Mm-hmm.
So Eric played queen b8.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess in this position you have to do something, right? You cannot just sit and wait. You
Mhm.
have to do something, because if white gets time here, he's going to play knight to d4.
Mm-hmm.
This knight jumps here, maybe jumps up here, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, then things are.
But
not
okay,
so-
let's take a look. Queen
Yeah.
b8.
Queen b8.
And now the question is knight d4. You take on b2, I guess. Yeah, that should be good. You give a check. You threaten to give a check and take on c5. So you must protect, I think, the b2 pawn. Huh?
No, there is a mating attack here.
Mhm. Ah.
If you put the knight here, you play g4,
G4
and then
and-
you
Yes.
take on h7 and rook. Sorry, rook h8,
Yes.
h3.
Okay, you have some chances to avoid it with black. But
Yeah,
no,
It's
but
just
it's
a
true.
dream.
It's the dream, dream position. But we don't know. It was a little bit like this game with Queen f6 yesterday. It's a little bit the same. You can dream, you know, and you need to do that for your attack, you know.
So
Mhm.
maybe you play g4 at some point, and then knight g5, threatening mate, and then you
Mhm.
sacrifice.
Oh. Okay.
But yeah. So he didn't do that. Well, he still has the chance, of course. He played queen c2, very solid move.
Mm-hmm.
This can be very annoying when you. This is unusual. You have a knight on the 7th, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, they say that a protected knight on the 6th, if it's on e6 or d6, it's worth a rook.
But now.
How much is a knight on e7 worth?
Mm.
Is it more than a knight? Is it a knight and a pawn?
I haven't studied this thoroughly. So.
You haven't? Okay. The evaluation of chess pieces.
Yeah.
Usually you start with that.
Okay, what? Actually, but it's a little bit maybe even rook a5.
Hmm. Queen b4 is a move.
Yeah, queen b4, I think a3.
Probably yes.
That was the point. So,
Yeah.
so I thought not rook a5 or rook b5. You know,
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm not sure if it's
No, we can never be sure about anything.
because and then if knight to d4, Here I was thinking about if you could play. You can also. There is also this queen, something strange like Queen F8 or something like that to go for the C5, but I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea, if you cannot take on C6, now you threatens to play bishop to D8 maybe.
So we'll just show why this is playable, because of the take. We have this move.
You can take queen takes C5 and you give up because it's
Yeah.
a mate on E8.
Yeah, and so that's why it doesn't work.
Okay. Yes.
For white, for black.
Exactly. So you can say that even though it's a strategic, so the rook A5 is dubious.
But
maybe.
Queen F8 is a strange move. I think.
Yes.
It's just
okay.
a trick move.
Mhm.
But this is important because
No, it was my. Yeah.
But
And I think
if
that
you-
rook A5 is
but
wrong.
if you go here, what? But then you can take, I guess.
Mm.
And if you take here, maybe you have this move,
Yes.
and then you take on A5.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Here, I think rook A5. Probably you need to keep
No,
the
rook
rook
A5 is
on.
strange.
Yeah, it's probably strange. Yeah. I mean, you can play bishop E5.
But then,
Are you afraid of it being taken? Look at the knight on.
Yeah, I'm afraid of this mate on H3 at some point.
Mhm. So bishop E5.
Maybe.
Bishop E5.
But maybe
now.
there is no such mate. Yeah,
Just to keep away the knight from D4. But also, if you take, I take with a pawn and.
rook takes
What
on
i-
knight G5, but then it's E4. Yeah.
No, then it's
No,
mate.
that's
on-
mate.
Oh,
Okay.
rook take.
So,
Oof. So maybe this is winning him. No, G6?
yeah, G6, but then we could take maybe. I don't know.
Yes.
Just
King
go for-
G7.
Go for gold here.
And then.
Can we do this?
Take, and King F6. Yeah, you have. There is. very
Tricks,
nice.
you know.
Yeah, this is. So it's a strategic position in one way, but a lot of tactical behind.
Two knights. You have two knights jumping.
Yes, we
you know.
all know how
Well,
dangerous.
I think
this can be.
rook takes E5 is strong here actually.
Me too.
And, this is very dangerous.
It looks very dangerous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even dangerous. It looks like
Could be winning. Even.
could be winning.
Yeah, could be winning. Okay, interesting
Mhm,
situation, right?
mhm,
So he played queen b4.
mhm.
That is.
And
Now
A3.
you said A3.
That was my idea. I thought about, maybe you should move your queen to
G4.
G4 or something like that.
Mm. You want to control this square.
D4, yeah, that's right. But also you have your queen on this side.
Yeah,
of the
you
board.
protect the king also.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. This looks like a decent idea. And then white has to find something. The question is, should he play A3? Is that the best option here? But it's not, yeah. I mean, it could turn out that this knight on E7 is just very bad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I queen B4 looks more and more better to my eye. Not the least when we looked at the different possibilities of.
Yeah, these attacking chances with
Mhm.
the knights and the queen and so on.
Mhm.
Okay, I think we need to go forward, so
Yep.
we will look at this one.
Edvin.
And he has managed to mobilize his pawns. This is important. So
Mhm.
maybe black has an advantage now, I think.
Hmm.
Because white does not have anything on the queen side, and
Mhm.
black
That's
has
what I said.
has this idea.
I think black is slightly better here.
Could be.
The pawns on the queen side is very far from getting dangerous, while black is putting pressure on the white
Yeah.
pawn. So.
So he could even go with everything here and
Mhm.
break this.
Mhm.
And then he would be winning, of course.
Mhm.
So H5.
Hmm?
So this was the position he played H5.
Mhm.
Strong idea. Black has some advantage here, I would say.
And H4 for white. Then you play G4,
Yeah, probably.
I guess.
Yeah, looks decent. You could take, of course, and play some rook G8, but I would think he plays G4, right?
Or rook CG8 maybe.
I don't know if maybe you can play something like this, but
Yeah.
sometimes you could take and play F. There could
Yes.
be tactics here somehow.
Yes, I agree.
Well, yeah, if white plays very well, he will save it, but right now it looks like black has an advantage.
Or at least activity. Let's see.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, we
Good.
go back, and then we go through, and then we take a small break.
That's good.
So
Oh, he
after
played-
castling, white bailed out.
He did play
He
this.
bailed
okay.
out with the bishop.
Okay, then the only thing he's got now is that we have this pawn
This is the
on
position.
e6.
Yeah, but there's an e3 pawn.
Yeah, but now b5. Now is on the wrong color.
Yeah, that's true.
It's okay.
Yeah, I agree with you. White could be better because the pawn on e6 could be targeted by the white bishop. And there's also knight
But
e5.
very, very small. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
again, it should be a draw now, I
Yeah,
think.
it should be a
but I think that's good.
It's getting more and more technical, the position. I would
Yes,
say.
that's right.
Okay, so we jump to the next one.
Mhm.
And here we've had
Bishop g3.
let's see.
Rook e3 we had. Rook e3, yeah. Rook e3.
there.
21, yeah. That's one.
So rook e3,
Mhm.
rook e6,
Mhm.
bishop a4,
Yeah.
rook a6. So he doesn't want to play c5.
No,
here.
because I think he will take on d7.
Probably yes.
And then take with a bishop on e5, and it can only be white who has got chances because
Sure.
he has got a better king.
So he played rook a6, which is slightly awkward, but perhaps
be
best.
okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Knight takes.
Yeah.
b4.
Okay.
Queen f6, and now suddenly rook g3. He's playing interesting here. Sayantan Das.
Sayantan Das. That's a cool name.
Yeah. And it's like the pieces are just scattered, you know.
Yeah, it's
rook
like
on a6, rook on g3,
Well,
bishop on a4. What's
yeah,
happening?
it's and the rook. Yeah,
It's
rook
not
and-
the way we used to play.
No.
We put everything
Of
in the
course.
middle. And,
Yes, centralized.
Yeah.
Have you heard about this rule? Centralize your pieces.
yeah, but they haven't, you know.
no.
Or maybe they've used computers.
Maybe that's why they are so strong, and
Yeah,
we are
something.
sitting here. You
Yeah,
know,
right,
could
yeah.
be.
Trying to explain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it's
right.
not easy. But very strange position.
Yeah.
It would be interesting to go into their brains and see how they think.
But
to
still
come up
okay.
with this.
But for me at least, black's moves are more. I mean, I understand them easier,
Mhm.
you know, because like I said, with this bishop e5, now what he wants is just to keep the position closed. You know, white tries to open up, but like you say, it's like it's playing on both sides, and I cannot really see how they fit in together these these moves. But okay, let's say that you play. You know, you are threatening. Do you threaten to play queen e2 right now, or queen f1?
Yeah, something like that.
Queen f1 might
I
be a
mean,
threat actually, because
the-
then the rook. Where should go rook after queen f1?
Yeah, this
It's
is very
hanging on
awkward.
c6.
This
Yes,
is a very awkward
yes.
rook.
So I guess.
But maybe now that the knight is on e5 already,
Mhm.
it's possible to go back.
But then it's hanging on c6. No, it's not hanging on c6.
No. So maybe now.
No, it was queen f1. F4 was my idea. Okay, I see.
Yeah, but maybe you said this.
This because then you're threatening both f4 and the rook.
So black has to find an answer. Maybe he could.
Mhm.
Can you move the king away?
King f8 maybe.
Maybe. Say we go here, just to control the f4 square, because now after queen here you could go back,
Hmm.
and f4 you can just take it.
Exactly. This looks good, of course.
Yeah.
So-
Interesting situation. I think we should go to the next game. So here we have. Oh,
What is this?
yeah, we had
Yes, we had this position.
rook c8,
Yes, and
bishop
now,
d2,
yeah, like we said.
queen e5,
Aha.
and he started, and then that's a draw offer.
Hmm.
But she needs to win, right?
Yep.
Maybe it's not a draw offer, but it's a
Testing.
repetition.
Yeah, testing
testing the
a little bit.
waters a
It's
bit. Yeah,
That's
just-
good. That's
yeah.
good.
C3,
Yeah.
knight e5. You cannot take with the queen due to a famous
This one.
discovered check.
Yeah, we have lost many. I've lost many games. on
You
this
have
type of
lost to this trick. and you lose the queen. So queen c2 was played, knight g4.
Okay, so he cannot take on d4
No,
at least.
we have a pin here against the queen. So rook fc1 was played.
Because because h3, you don't really want to do that.
No, you don't want. You don't want to do that.
And now
we'll see.
you're threatening.
And now we'll see.
Because now it feels like a little bit like white is, because if you have to take on c3, bishop takes c3 and so on, the b7 pawn might be a weakness. So maybe you can claim some kind of advantage after that.
Yeah, it's very tough, very interesting game.
Now it's
no draw between countrymen here.
No, not of course not when you have two win and so on.
So we will make a jump to this game that has sort of cleared up a bit. We saw just to get back to the game. We had this queen e8, rook ac1, bishop e7. Now they started exchanging pieces. f5, knight e6, take, knight c5. So what do you think now?
I mean, okay, you have like this hole on the e5. White has got the pair of bishops. You have the hole on e5 a little bit. But with the good thing with f5 is that you're, a little bit taking down the bishop on d3.
Yeah, and you have the e4 square.
But also bishop bishop b5. You play bishop c6, I guess. Huh? That's important, I think.
Still a very tactical position. You cannot judge this only from strategic perspective. You need to look into exact moves.
And
this could be decided by some good move, and suddenly one or the other side loses, right?
But if you look
I
at
think white is better here.
But if you look at the time, only
if you look at the
minutes.
time, then it's horrible for black.
That's right. And it will be some difficult moves to play because you're only on move 20.
Yeah. He has
or is it 20? Move 20.
19 moves in 8 minutes.
Yeah, that's right.
So he is in time pressure, definitely. Now I would give white a slight advantage here. Okay, black's position is not so bad, but he has this weakness here, this square e5. And white could put a knight or the bishop there, and you can never force it back. So this should be a little bit better for white, I think.
But of course, question is how to proceed. In a
of
way,
course.
if you can take on d3.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, he's got the hole, but then it's not so dangerous, I think.
No, I agree.
That's
E4,
okay.
E4 is also, but the difference is that white could play F3 at some point.
So I think that in this position, what you want is to make safe of your bishop. But the question, if you want to save it, you go to C2 or B1, then bishop. I don't know if bishop A6 is, or maybe even queen to C6, and you have this long diagonal could also be possible, maybe to play that way. Bishop B5, but you and I don't know.
Very very tricky. But with so little time, black has an uphill struggle because he needs to think about just making the moves.
Exactly.
When white with almost 50 minutes, he can take a 5-10 minute break, so to speak, and think and really calculate. So if black makes any sort of dubious thing, white has time to utilize it. But black will have it's very difficult to suddenly take 5 minutes. Then he's almost losing. So we will go to next game, and we have development.
What has happened here?
Big development. But you were right with H5, spot on. And I think after our analysis, it was obvious that G4 was a terrible threat, and he had to stop it. And he did.
And you also said 92. Huh?
Well,
or at least it
the idea. I don't know if I don't remember. I think we played Rook HE1 first or something.
Okay.
But I like 92. It
E2.
looks logical. Queen takes.
And now
Queen F4. And we get this type of.
Wait. I just want to see.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so
it's
now
what they call the rubber band, you know.
Okay, so black
So you cannot take
black wins a pawn now, has won a pawn.
Yeah,
But the
his
pressure
position,
is
it's
tough.
mounting. It's mounting.
But okay, castle.
Yeah.
And you will have how is this position?
I guess we
take, rook take.
I don't think white can be worse.
No.
Maybe.
Can white be better?
Maybe white can be worse. There are some weaknesses, but there's opposite colored bishops.
And one problem is, I guess, also g6. You can play rook f6, huh? And go for the b6 pawn.
Yeah.
Okay, rook a b8 you can play then.
Yeah.
No,
then,
it should be.
Then
No, but I think this is equal. I think
yeah.
most likely.
White still has an attack here. I mean, I think this is important to point out that with this bishop here and this long diagonal and the two rooks, the black king is not safe, and this bishop is not protecting the king at all. So I think white should, if white plays well here, it could be very dangerous. I mean, what do you do here?
g6.
Yeah, and then we put the rook somewhere. Yeah.
So, somewhere rook b8.
You want to go with this? No.
No, I think the other one.
And then maybe
Rook e7. Now you threaten to take on g6, maybe.
Yeah, at least it's.
If I take on g2.
Yeah, then we can make a draw by taking here, right? This should be at least a draw, and then we go back and forth. Maybe that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's. It's not. Then otherwise you have to play g3 in this position instead of rook e1, rook e7.
Yeah, you could do that.
Just to go for something. Yeah, could be.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Lots of things can happen here.
But again, after rook e7, is it threatening anything really?
What?
Besides, I mean, if you okay, let's say I play bishop f3 or something. No, if the g. No, not bit. No.
No, this is not.
Let's say just make a move like bishop c8 to go for bishop f5, for example. Bishop d4. Should we go for that pawn? Bishop f5 check. I mean, I still believe that the draw is a normal result here. But
Yeah. I'm not saying. I'm just thinking that you need. There's lots of tactics with opposite colored bishops.
There are some stuff here. Yes.
So you cannot. It's difficult to just look at it strategically. You have to look at it tactically.
And is also this with the bishop.
But maybe you can put the bishop on e6 at some point.
And the only thing is that you maybe can sacrifice.
Yeah, but then you're only playing for a draw, right?
No, I take on g6. Maybe.
I don't know. No, it's difficult to say.
Should be. Yeah.
So this is the position, and we'll see what happens.
Yep.
So we go to the next game here. This
that
fascinating.
Is Tiger Hillarp.
No, it's Sardana against Horvat.
Oh, okay, sorry.
This one.
I didn't see. Okay.
This G4.
This very, very strange game.
So we had this position, and
suddenly, what is this?
We had this.
This is incredible.
And we
said rook c1. Yes.
Yeah, rook c1's best choice, and e takes d5, castles, bishop e6.
Suddenly it got normal again, or normal is maybe too much to say. What is this? Okay, let's calculate the so it's equal now when it comes to material, huh?
Yeah, interesting position.
But again, the pawn on g5 is, it still looks a bit strange. But like knight c4, for example. Yeah,
he played it.
Yeah, he's a good player. Yeah.
No, I think I take black here.
Yeah, e3 maybe, just to cover up.
Yeah.
Rook c3, you have also.
Many moves.
No, I think at least black is not worse here.
No.
I can assure you. Even queen b6 or something like that at a point. So it should be absolutely okay.
So we go to this fascinating game.
Yes.
And we had bishop b1, we had knight a5, and now he thought
Mhm.
for an hour or what, something like
Yeah,
that.
it was incredible. Yeah.
And he played f3
1
D6.
hour for a pawn move.
for knight g3.
Yeah.
And interestingly, Tiger, he does not take.
No, I think he realizes how dangerous it is.
Yeah, he doesn't.
So he wants
want
to find something else. But
And now, interestingly, Tiger, who used a lot of time, we were
Mhm.
criticizing him for that. He suddenly has better time. He has even double the time of his opponent.
okay, d5 and take with a knight on e4. Isn't that normal?
Well, he played d5, bishop d7,
Mm-hmm.
and he is thinking.
And he's thinking.
Yes, white is thinking.
So the last moves he has been using. Yeah,
No, he took.
I could have done it immediately.
Yeah, but if you want to really.
Okay. So one trick here is knight take. Here, bishop take,
Mhm.
and you cannot take on c4 because then you have either you can take on h7, for example, and then queen d3 check.
Yeah, how is
I
that?
think. And take on on c4. So I have a better idea. So if you go, because now white is winning, I think. But in this position, you can take on e4, bishop take e4, and then you can play f5. And bishop d3, you can take on c4 with a
Yeah.
knight, and it's a check on h4.
Yeah, you have this.
And take like this, yeah. And it should be fine for black, I think. So this, I think, is a good position for black.
Yeah.
So
No, but that was. This is the position now.
okay.
Tiger has played well. He invested lots of time,
Mm-hmm.
but he managed to find the right idea.
So I think that f5,
Yes.
then bishop d3, take on c4, and castle will happen.
And it's a game.
And again, now it's a game. But actually now I think that it looked very dangerous for black.
Mhm.
So I think that this was quite good.
Yeah.
Good played by Tiger.
But
And
now we
and
get-
now he's better on time as well.
Now we get these ideas.
Yeah,
of
you will,
acti-
but
active-
at least black's knight is active on c4 and swapped a
Yeah.
bit of pieces and
Yeah,
so
yeah,
on.
yeah.
And
We
so-
might see this attack, but it will take longer time. So Tiger played well to and let's
Okay,
go to Blomqvist. Yeah, Queen G4 was played.
Mm-hmm.
A3, Queen G4 as
We said,
predicted,
yeah.
and now
Mhm.
Queen D2.
Okay. Yep. Wants his knight to d4 and or maybe even queen d4, but then doesn't.
Yeah, maybe this.
I don't know. Rook b8.
If you get to take on C6, I think you can accept because rook take on B2. It's not the end of the world. Your king can go to H2, and you want to enter with the rook. So yeah, interesting position here.
The question is also, should the rook go to b8?
Well, you want to activate your pieces, but
Should
the question,
rook e8 is also possible.
yes, but I think knight D4 is always
Mhm.
playable, and then take on. Very interesting position. Now we're going to the last game before the break,
Mm-hmm.
and we
h4 came.
We saw H5,
Hmm?
and then there was an exchange,
Mm-hmm.
and we saw H4, G4, King E3. I think
Mhm.
we were
Yes.
sort of looking at this type of play.
He wants to put the
Rook
king on
E1,
f6, huh?
King F6,
Yes.
and this is the position.
Because he wants to play e5
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Start, you know. So.
Yeah, I think White has some problems here, but
Mhm.
it's still a game.
Mhm.
It's not lost, but definitely some problems.
Yes.
I think White has not played this so well.
No.
He's sort of wasting
No.
time.
Yeah.
Okay, with that, we will take a 10-minute coffee break. Go take a coffee. We will be back with more interesting moves.
From the last round of the
Yeah.
Rilton Cup.
Okay, see you. Okay, welcome back to the last round of the Rilton Cup 2025-26, and we will jump into the games, and I think we're going to start from the top.
Yes.
And
the top means, in our case, board 2.
Board 2, yeah. Board 1 is a draw, so we already know that Zhang, what was his name again? Zhang Yu Shu, who we have interviewed here, has won the tournament. And Siva Mahadavan made a GM norm, maybe the only GM norm made during this tournament.
Most likely, yes. Yeah. We have Kai Fan Chi, who can make 8 rounds GM norm if he's winning his game, but we come back to that later. Yeah.
So we have board 2, and we have Anton Demchenko, who has impressed us with very fighting chess all the time, playing white against Heberla, Bartolome Heberla, who we have seen a lot in Sweden. He plays in the Elite Series for, is it Växjö he plays for?
No, Eksjö.
Eksjö, yeah, Eksjö. Okay, so here we have the position. What do you think about this?
I mean, in general, white should be better in this position, I think. But of course, the question is about rook c2, and this is what I'm looking at a little bit right now. But in general, white is better due to the active knight on e5, and the pawns on e6, b5, a6 are on the same color as the bishop on d7. So white should be. The question is how big is this? How big is the advantage? I cannot say, but white should absolutely be better in this position.
Yeah, if anyone is better.
It's that's right.
The only thing black has is the c file right now.
That's right. So that's why I said.
But the question is, if let's say we exchange rooks, it's not like it's a winning advantage for white.
No,
but it's a little bit, as long as you have the knight on e5 and so on. Yeah. So a little bit better for white. We'll see what happens.
But the question is very concrete again. If you play like rook c2, what is that like? Is that a good move, or because you really would like to? In one way, you want to play bishop and rook against knight and rook. Then you can have chances. But one thing, if you play rook f2, then you check at c1 and go back. So.
I think this is equal actually. I don't give much of an advantage to white here.
I think you can take on d7.
You could, and play bishop g4 or something.
Either that, or maybe or rook d1.
Yeah.
But then maybe knight e5 is good.
Yeah, I don't see.
No. Okay.
I mean, you said that the advantage was the black bishop being on, but he didn't play rook c2.
Okay.
He played rook c5.
So he's forcing the exchange on d7 because this is the bad piece. Okay. Knight e3, yes, that's right. So maybe it will be this endgame with the rooks swapped off.
That must be a draw.
I think it's a draw too, but
some chances for white maybe, but
so small chances.
Not much.
It should be. I think it should be a draw with correct play, but we have seen before in this tournament that you can try to put pressure on your opponent even with small measures.
I think it's important again to mention the fact that both black and white have very little time left, and they have to make
how many moves?
18 moves for black, and he has only 11 minutes. But okay, it's an ending, but even so, it's not so easy, right? Okay, so rook c2 was played, and I think we will jump to the next game.
Yep.
So this is one of these a little bit mysterious games.
Yes.
Let's see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah, we had this position.
But I think you made a good remark also that don't forget that in this penalty, the last round of a tournament, both player might want to win. So they are ready to take risks, and they're playing a bit strange just to to put pressure and so on. So
it's not like one of the players is playing for a draw and the other for a win.
And if you
Most
have
likely both are playing for
and
the
in
win.
this kind of case, when both players have got 6 points, they know that the difference when it comes to prize money can be huge.
Yeah.
So they play for,
Yeah.
10,000 Swedish crowns or something like that. It might be the difference
Yeah.
by winning or losing or something like
Which
that.
is about 1,000 euros.
1,000 euros, yeah.
So Queen E2 was played in the game, threatening the rook, and it went back, of course. And then there was an exchange,
Mm-hmm.
a check,
Mm-hmm.
bishop B3, rook E7, and rook C8. And white is sort of trying to attack from every angle here.
But on the other hand now, it's two pawns on C3 and A2. And the question is, how strong is this pawn on... Yeah, it's... What is white's idea?
What's happening here?
What is happening?
I think it's a very even game.
Most likely.
White has protected everything, but black has also protected everything. How do you do anything here?
I mean, there is
C5
of course, it's also the pawn. You have the pawn on E4 that might be in danger at the moment. Because if you play like knight to G6,
Yeah, let's do that.
and you must play rook E3. F3 cannot be played because the rook is hanging.
But what about this?
Yeah, maybe. And you take on E4. No, with the rook. You take on the rook.
I'm just showing.
Okay.
What
Okay.
we're talking about here.
Yeah,
Checkmate.
okay. Yeah, that's right. So that's that's right. So maybe rook F and then queen
Because
to E5.
this move is not so
It's
good.
the same. Yeah, it's the
same stuff.
It's the same stuff. So queen E5 maybe. I don't know.
But what? Yeah.
Now if you play rook F5, you can take with the queen on F5.
Yeah, and also C3 is hanging.
And my idea here was to play D5 in the next moves.
Yep.
I don't know. On knight F3, 4. So maybe it's something like that you could be thinking of, maybe.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Okay.
So lots of tricks going
There's
on here.
some small tricks here, but
there is this idea of going here and maybe going here and then coming in here and going. So this could end suddenly with a mistake from one or the other.
I agree.
So rook C8 is played, and very tense position in the last round. Little time. They still have like 10 moves to make and not so much time. Okay, so we go to this game. We know that the black player is playing for a GM norm.
And now he's a pawn down, huh?
No.
No, it's no.
It's
I'm
equal,
sorry.
equal.
You have to be quick. But then,
the
then
position.
black must be better in this position.
Maybe.
Yeah, it must be better.
Yeah, but A7 is a little bit weak. What do you want to play here?
Maybe A6.
Okay, let's see that. Page 6. Yeah. What do we do here?
But this must be really good for black, I think.
Yeah, but it's not so easy to take C3 because you have protection there.
I would play like queen D5, queen C4. I mean.
Yeah.
No, this is no doubt black is
Yeah, it
better in this
it
position.
looks better, but it's not.
But I agree, it's not that totally clear, of course. But
somehow white has been pressed back.
Yeah,
for a
yeah.
while it looked like white had a good game, but then suddenly things went a little bit backwards for him. So shall we go to the next game? So here we have the
little time.
Yeah, this. I think Dotzer now has only 35 seconds to make 13 moves. But he gets 30 seconds every move, right?
But don't forget that now also the at least a little bit. I guess he will play like. Is it who? It's white to play.
Yep.
And can you take on E6?
We should mention that white has almost half an hour left, so he's not in time pressure.
Because
Only
now,
black.
if black can play bishop to D5, you will have a position that most likely it will be a clear draw, I think. Don't you think so? Or can you play for?
I wouldn't say a
F3,
clear draw. I mean,
F3,
you just play. You know, it's like we said before. You just play. You make moves and you make threats, and suddenly there's something.
No, but I think black. At least I think black is fine if you can play to, bishop to d5.
Yeah, I agree. There is some point to that. Just.
But because if you take on e6, then rook e8, you can maybe play bishop knight to c5. The question is, can you take the pawn? Is it take on g2 or
maybe
take on g7? Can it be like this?
Yeah. I think the chances for white in this game are excellent because of time.
Mm-hmm.
Because how do you play with 35 seconds? It's every move you're in.
I can recommend you to play fast at least.
Yeah, we can talk to Tiger about that.
Yeah, we can do that. Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Very interesting.
But okay,
unpredictable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but okay, you could say that probably the game is okay for black.
Yeah, it's
but
not
there are still some difficult moves to play. So with so little time, that can be.
And white threatens, to.
And it's knight b5 and knight d6.
Maybe then rook c5. But
I just say that there are ideas like right now it's
I don't know if let's say we play something like this. I guess the draw sort of comes closer.
Very close. Yeah,
that's
right.
This.
Yeah, that's right.
So probably maybe black could even be better. No, I don't think it's better, but you have to watch out so you don't get beaten. Okay, knight b6 is played, and we'll see what happens. Let's go to the next game. So here we have this one with the